there, ref. That's he got the ball.
Yes, everybody. Hello, madam and sir, European champions, Europa League winners. How are we? This shall be your trophy parade, volume 2, volume 3, whatever one we want to call it. We're going to be lapping it up for some good time. Now, I said in these predicted lineups, channel predictions, I'm going to be happy clapper mode engaged for pretty much at least a year straight, for 365 days straight. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun. As much as, we've probably benefited from the pressure, from the sort of intensity of recent games. It has been nice now just in the last week or so just to feel sort of the shoulders relax. It feels like the tension in our necks is gone. Any sort of muscle injuries that Dave or I might have had just from having to watch some of these games or just be there with you guys surely won't be happening now. And I think plenty of you guys, including myself, anywhere I've been going, I've just been rocking the Spurs gear. It's just been a whole lot of fun, and it's been a very, very good time and wonderful time to be a Spurs fan. Even people that, are American, sort of Arsenal fans or Manchester United fans or whatever, have even gone up and just been like, you know what, fair play. Congratulations to you guys. It's been a long time coming, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful week, Dave. It's like everyone's kissing my feet, kissing the ring, and it's just a great week. The best week probably in my lifetime to be a Spur fan. Simple as.
You know what? It's a great feeling. I was saying in the pre-match build-up, the missus went to the shop earlier on today. Her mother's a United fan. She works there, so I said to her, wear the Tottenham jersey, I just piss her off a little bit. She said 4 people stopped her, and the shop's literally a 30-second walk away. 4 people stopped her to ask her about Ange Postecoglou and Tottenham and everything else. She only put the jersey, you know what I mean? It's madness, absolutely madness. But you know what, Jack? I almost feel like we've got to take the narrative of Ange Postecoglou on this. Let's not forget they can kiss our ring now. Well, that's because we forced them to. They spent 33 years of my whole fucking life ridiculing this club. Team talks, it's only Tottenham lads. I look at them now, I'm like, go away, peasant. You're a loser. You're not on my level. You don't even have the right to come and speak to me and say congratulations. Fuck off. Worry about your own trophyless club. How about that? That's what I say to them. Get away from me. Anyone that's texted me that doesn't support Tottenham, I've ignored. I just don't have time for them right now. I'm on cloud 9. It's like when they win things, Well, actually, I ignore them, but it doesn't matter. The thing is, I don't want to know from them. They spent 33 years ridiculing the football club that I fucking die for, so they can fuck off. I don't want to hear it from any of them. Probably demonetize the stream right now. I do apologize, but that hurts me. I don't want to hear it. Honestly, it's so annoying. Look, today's all about one.
They just like to support winners, Dave. They just appreciate winners. I think that's what it is. They bow to any of the winners, and we are them.
Yeah, but it's shameless. You even get Arsenal fans praising us. And I'm sort of like, even if they won the Champions League, you would still not hear me sit here and say congratulations or even one good word about their football club. I'm never going to do it. I embrace rivalry to the core.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. It's just been wonderful to just, bask in the glory of Tottenham Hotspur. Just have us just be absolutely relaxed when it comes to Spurs and go into this game where I imagine, we'll be analyzing it. We'll be taking a look at, some of the guys, and see, their final minutes, their final moments in the season. But it's just going to be a good vibes watch along. It's going to be vibes in the stadium. It's just going to be, happy clapper mode engaged. It's just going to be that feel good factor, for the next 90, even probably more minutes, because I imagine there will be some sort of celebration probably after the game as well. Perhaps, a bit of a circle around
season awards.
Yeah, season awards, maybe a little lap around the stadium. Hopefully the fans can get on the pitch for it, because the fans have gone through a lot this season as well, but the players certainly deserve it as well. So it's just going to be feel good factor for next 2 hours plus here.
Well, as you can see, Jack, I've come dressed for the party, right? I've come dressed for the occasion. I've got my new bucket hat on. I've got the scarf. I've got my jumper. By the way, people are asking me where this was. I probably should have worn it over. I've got my Moondog cup out, the one the Dave one, with the Bill Nick quote on the back. We might have to upgrade that to an Ange Postecoglou one now, Moondog. I always win in my second season and then deliver. So I've got that filled with Coke and ice. I've got my little penguin bar, if anyone knows what they are, with the jokes on the back. I've also got my bag of Haribo jellies ready to go for the party. And then I've also got my Walker's salt and vinegar ready to go for the party. Salt and vinegar is what all the rivals are right now.
Set up, and Dave also probably just has the hat just in case anybody else starts spilling any more beer on him, with all the celebrations honestly, that Spurs have had.
I needed more than I needed a poncho by the time that bus came along. I was
I bet.
standing there and I was expecting a bit of rain. I started feeling stuff. I was like, oh, maybe it's rain. I look up and there's just guys with bottles fucking flinging beer everywhere. It's madness.
Good to see so many of you guys. It's the final watch along of the season. Thank you guys so much as well for joining us for so many of these this year. We really do appreciate you all. We've gone all the way from the preseason, bits of anxiety, seeing what this team would be like, to the mid-stage parts of the season where you're not really too sure how the season's going to unfold, to finally we're at the end of this roller coaster. And boy, was it worth it. As
Oh,
much as there
yeah.
were ups and downs, boy, was it worth it. The best roller coaster we've ever gone
I
through
wouldn't
all
I wouldn't
together.
change any part of the journey, Jack. The
Nah.
journey is what honestly, the hard journey is what's given everybody this high, this elation. You know what I mean? I think, the journey at the end of the day is what makes it. It's what defines it at the end. So I wouldn't change the journey for anything.
No, definitely not. So thank you guys for being a part of this journey for us. Thank you guys for picking us as your watch along destination for these roller coasters and journeys. And we do really, really appreciate you all. It's been a wonderful, wonderful season yet
You're
again.
all winners out there. Every single one of you. You're all winners. You're all European champions. Let's have that chest all summer long. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If your boss comes into work, tries to slag you off, turn around and say, look, I'm sorry, I'll stop you right there. Get some respect. I'm a European champion. Take no shit.
Even when you sign off your emails at work,
Yeah.
just say European champion,
Christ.
underneath them. Yeah.
Christ Daniel, European champion.
There you go. Also, as well, I've been saying to plenty of people, it's a hot Spurs summer, everybody. So do get ready for it. Just enjoy this summer. Enjoy the glory. Bask in it, please. Let's get to the lineup and get just some quick thoughts on it. I know Dave was probably discussing it during the pre-match buildup, but I'll be honest. Once again, this was one of the hardest predicted lineups I've ever had to do, mostly because it was a balance of who's too hungover for this game, who's maybe also just been absolutely bollocksed, after running, their asses off for for the Europa League final, and as well as probably even the semifinal to some degree. And then which players, would be given some type of lap of honor, some type of
Yeah.
appreciation, for the final moments. There were so many different things I had to consider when picking this lineup, and I don't think I did too well, to be perfectly honest. I think I even said to people, I forewarned, I wouldn't be surprised if I only got like 2 out of 11 or 3 out of 11 in
To
terms
be
of the
honest,
selections for this one.
it's stronger than what I thought we were going to go with. I thought we were just
100%.
going to see a lot of the under 21s. I thought while we were parading, they were probably getting ready for the game, to be quite honest with you. So I'm
Yeah.
surprised, it's stronger than what I thought. Look, what sort of performance to expect today? I mean, judging by some of the players on that bus and the journey and the good time they were having and up on the stage, I'd expect a very sluggish performance. 11 men sitting behind the ball, just trying to survive the 90 minutes, to be honest with you. I'm not
100%.
really expecting any sort of great style of football. But what I would say is I think ending it with a win, not only for the players but for Postecoglou heading into the summer, will only keep the good vibes going. And I think it will do a lot of them maybe a little bit of justice, or again, change and shift some opinions maybe moving forward. So there is still something slight to play for here.
No, they're
At the end of the
definitely.
day, we're European champions. So
Well, you wonder, like, there's no really tension. There's no pressure on these players. It's one final hurrah, one final game. They probably can find it within themselves to, put in a decent enough performance to maybe give Brighton a good enough game here. And we are going with a stronger lineup, so you never know. Yeah, but that was the difficulty of picking, the predicted lineup was like, at first I was just going towards all the kids, and then I was kind of like, well, it is only the final game of the season. Maybe he can just sort of talk to some of the players and be like, are you ready to go? Like, can you do this final game? Do you feel like you got another 90 minutes in you? Not like it needs to be effort levels from the Europa League final or anything like that, but do you think you can put in another, even for some of these guys, might be 50 to 60 minutes, let alone, not even 90 minutes. So I think it was, probably going to be the case that Ange was going to give plenty of the guys that contributed a lot to this season just one final go, and also just one final opportunity for us as fans to appreciate them for everything they were able to do in that Europa League campaign. To see them probably get subbed off, for someone else, we can give them a good clap, give them a good applause. I think
yeah.
a lot of that actually started to cross my mind. And so then I started to lean towards that type of selection of a lineup. But boy, did I still get a lot of it wrong. But we do have Vicario in goals. I was able to predict that one. He's also been given the captain's armband, by the way, for this game here, everybody. Pedro Porro, I also got that one right. He kind of alluded to Pedro Porro on the parade and on the bus that he said he still had to get ready for this game. Even though he's played over 4,000 minutes for the club this season, 4,000 minutes. he did say, "Yep, I'm not going to party too hard tonight because I have to get ready for Sunday." So
I
I
know.
actually took
I
that
know.
as a sign he probably was playing this game. Danzo is in for
Way.
Romero by the looks of things. Kevin actually did brilliantly, I thought, in the final minutes in that Europa League final, marshalling Maguire, putting his head in there to clear crosses, just being a very brave defender. And I do always get a little bit of a chubby when we put on an extra center back, to deal with, the final bits of pressure from a team. It's just one of my favorite things to watch in football. Mickey Van de Ven, I am very surprised, just made the lineup. Every time I saw him, even after the win, this is only minutes after we won the game. I've been seeing that guy with a Heineken in his hand pretty much for the last 72 hours straight. This guy definitely has been part of the party cruiser.
His song,
Udogi, yeah,
his song was an absolute belter. It went off when it came on.
I bet
Na
it
na
did.
na 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 na. Mickey Van der Ven, Van
Van
der
de
Ven,
Ven,
Mickey
Mickey
Van
Van
der
de Ven.
Ven.
Na 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 na. Hey, Udogi is in the lineup as well. I kind of
Way.
thought Jed Spence would actually be given the chance over him, but maybe Jed Spence will likely come on as a substitution for him
He
at
was
some
loving
point
the
this game.
celebrations, by the way. Did you see me, his man, his sister, and all sliding
Yeah.
around on the pitch and all? That was unbelievable.
Just feels good to be a winner. And, Jed Spence finally gets that, chance once again. Bentancur, he
Way.
didn't seem to play. I don't know with Bentancur. I kind of expected him or Pop Matasar to start. It was both of them, it turns out, with Archie Gray in
Way.
midfield. And I did say, like, if Ange went for a two-man midfield and he played Gray kind of showed that, he might need just that little bit of extra help around him. He's not maybe at the point yet where he can be able to marshal, the midfield all by himself with just one other player, really. He seems like he does need that bit of extra support, but another opportunity for Gray to get some minutes. And again, in a very low pressure type of game, too, which should be good for him. Pop Matasar, don't even know how this guy's able to even stand, with how much ground he covered. The motor, the engine on this kid is just unbelievable. But I do hope to see maybe a little shot from distance from this guy. We know he has those crackers in him from
Yeah.
long range. Would love
We
to see
also
him
have to.
pop one from distance.
We also have to collect the apology forms. I mean, we've been out here defending our boy all season long. People saying we're deluded, we're wrong, he's useless.
Debatably
This,
put in a
that,
man of
and
the
the
match
other.
performance in the final.
Yeah, and man, the match was definitely a contender anyway. It was absolutely unbelievable on the evening. And, we talk about players stepping up on the big occasion. Yeah, look, credit to Johnson. I gave that in the pre-match build-up. He's proved me wrong on that occasion. But I think Papa Matsar has also proved a lot of people wrong and shown something that me and you have highlighted all season long. The amount of ball he turns over, that is an underrated and an underappreciated skill in today's game. It's almost like tennis games now, where no one likes anyone that, or there's very few players in the game now that get in amongst it, look to turn the ball over. It's almost like we'll wait for you to make a sloppy pass. Papa Matasar is the anomaly. He's a bit like N'Golo Kante, where he likes to be busy, get around the pitch, go and disrupt the ball. Give me that, you little twerp. Thank you. Fuck off. Darts 90 yards up the pitch. Right. Bit of calmness. 007, James Bond in the moment. Right. What do I do? And then he just makes some ultimately, good decisions. So fair play to Papa Matasar. And I want to see the Pappy haters now apologise.
100%. Get into the chat, everybody. We've given our Brennan Johnson apology. Will we get a Pop Matasar apology today? Brennan Johnson, another guy like Van de Ven, looked like he was probably enjoying himself,
Johnson.
deservedly enjoyed himself, but he also had a
Johnson.
birthday on the same day as the parade. So I'm surprised he's even made, the pitch again as well. Solanke makes the team again, another surprise. This guy's absolutely run his legs out for this team. So
Dun,
I'm
dun,
very, very
dee,
surprised he's made the lineup
dun,
today.
Saturday.
That being said, though, maybe Richarlison too, similar story, also a bit injury prone, Richarlison. So Solanke gets his final minutes, and maybe he could get a little stat padding, and get maybe an extra goal or two for this game. And then Matisse Tell makes the lineup instead of Sonny. Now, that's the funny thing is Sonny, I think, again, was definitely part of the party crew, but I thought maybe Sonny would maybe start the game and then kind of be taken off at some point
Mm.
for some type of applause and celebration. But I'm not even mad about it. I was just, again, kind of alluding to what I was trying to predict in terms of what would have happened. But Matisse Tell has been given the nod today, maybe because it could be his final game if Spurs don't actually trigger the permanent deal.
Yeah, look, today could be his final game. Look, I'd make the argument. I think I've seen more out of Mikey Moore this season than I have Matisse Tal. That's
Mm.
not saying that I don't think Matisse Tal can go on to be a really good player. I think he's changed my mind to a certain degree of maybe the quality that he possesses. But when you're talking about 65 million, even if we drop that down to 35 million, right? That's money you're taking away from signing a quality player, which is what we need. The whole aim this summer
Experienced
is
player, yeah.
improving the quality, bringing in experience, because we're going into the Champions League. You know, it's a different step up altogether. And we also have to learn. We've got to compete across 4 competitions next season. Fans will not be okay with binning off one competition for another. We're Tottenham Hotspur. We're a huge club. The numbers at the demonstration or at the protest, or not the protest, sorry, the fucking parade, you know, that demonstrates that. There was rumours that there was over 225,000 people there. That's fucking unbelievable. It shows how much of a big club we are. And I hope now that it's a trophy that's brought all generations together. You know, before there was a lot of, even myself and Dermot, right? Dermot's like, Dave, you haven't won anything. You know, I've had all these great nights, everything else. You know, but I think that European trophy, it brings all generations together. And hopefully now, as a fan base, we start adopting this big sort of team mentality going into games. We expect to win. The pressure's going to be even more on these guys after winning this season to back it up and deliver something next season. So, you know, the name of the game this summer is to bring in quality to match the ambitions. We can't just keep bringing in youngsters, because that's where you are going to get into that realms. The reality is, the squad has been tested more than ever before. We've lost 21 games in the league campaign, and a lot of them when we make rotations, when we don't have, you know, Romero, Van de Ven, Adogi, Pedro Porro, and Adogi across the back line, we lose games of football. When you don't have Bentancur, you know, James Maddison available, we lose a lot of games. When you don't have some of your strikers available, we lose a lot of games. So the reality is the squad isn't good enough. So if we need to bring it up to standard, we've got to bring in quality. And that money I think we use on Matisse Tal could go to someone else. And I think, you know, because at the end of the day, his son has 1 year left on his contract. We don't really know what's going to happen there. I think it is coming to a point where he's going to, we're going to start looking at him as a club as more of an impact sub than a player that can start, which means you have to bring in someone that's of the desired quality, ready to go and hit the season running. So for me, the only way I'll be comfortable bringing Matisse Tal back here, and credit to Dermot, he brought this up in the pre-match build-up, is another loan with an with an option to buy again next season to see if he can come in and kick on again.
Yeah. The crowd and the atmosphere just looks absolutely incredible, everybody.
Yeah,
Look at all the flags. Again, another
flag.
very, very nice touch by the people behind the scenes. You know, he did excellent on the tifo. The watch along in the stadium look epic. And now this as well looks absolutely glorious.
Do you know when I came out,
very, very
White
good
Hart
stuff
Lane,
behind the scenes been done recently.
when I came out White Hart Lane tube station down onto the main road outside the stadium, people are there handing out flags and everything. Nice touch.
Yeah, very, very nice touch. And then also too, you know, even just the whole crew, you know, the way that they were doing the band, you know, and everything, you know, the singing, you know, it all looked very well organized. Spurs have been definitely getting some things done right behind the scenes in terms of the fan atmosphere and culture. So many people in the house. Really do appreciate you guys once again. Thank you guys once again for being a part of these watch alongs and this journey and also these roller coasters for this season. I do have to sort of skip ahead though, but I apologize. You know, it's my fault. Just been rambling on too long since I wasn't part of the pre-match build-up. Just ended up going to bed a little bit too late last night to join you guys, but appreciate you all. Thanks for being in here with us.
We will start singing songs a bit later on. We're only after getting our voices back, so you know, we've only probably got about half an hour in us in terms of songs, so we'll do them sporadically over the game.
Dark Sun G though saying, I love how our academy won before the Gooners Academy.
Yeah.
Well, look, opportunity to see Mikey Moore maybe at some point. Demolo Ajayi would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. I think it would be the right thing to do so that they get the acknowledgement for their contributions along the Europa League campaign. Maybe you couldn't get them on in the final, but I think like a game like today, Mikey Moore or Ajayi, get them on, let them feel the adulation and the love from the Spurs fans. Because at the end of the day, they stepped up with 10 minutes to go against Salzburg. If we didn't win that game, we might not have got through. We could have had a different journey altogether. So
contributed
I think
a lot.
they deserve their recognition, Jacko.
No, they did, but that was a very, very crucial part that people might have forgotten about in terms of this Europa League journey. They gave us that opportunity to not have to play those extra games.
Yeah.
He also said as well, come on, you Spurs. Players from our lower teams won this Europa League competition. Gray, Odebear from the Championship, Bergvall and Saar from the second division from Sweden and France. And then he's saying Udogi Vicario from mistakes in the Serie A and Dom, Udogi and Vicario from the Serie A and Dom and Richie from mid-table teams. I did ask that question in the pre-match build-up, you know, compared to the players of the past, you know, the greats that we've had, you know, to the Modric's, you know, not as much in Modric's case. He proved on to be an absolute winner. But Gareth Bale, you know, you look at the likes of, you know, Dembele, Dele Alli, you know, so many great players that have walked through these halls. It's something kind of strange, you know, that this was the team to actually, you know, deliver the title or, you know, the the trophy. You know, this was the team to achieve the most significant trophy since basically 91, you know, since the FA Cup, you would argue. Like it's pretty amazing
You
that
know
this
what,
is the
though?
side to actually get over the line compared to, in my opinion, the better sides that we've had in the
Oh,
past
here we
when
go.
I've grown up.
The trumpet guy. Oh,
Legend.
when the Spurs go marching in, I want to be in that number. Oh, when the Spurs go marching in. I love the trumpet guy. Now, even he can keep his job next season. I'm on such a cloud nine. It's unbelievable. But what we were speaking about there, just quickly, Jack, I lost my train of thought.
Just saying, like, you know, the fact that some of these guys were able to get over the line, you know, compared to some of the better teams, in my
Yes.
opinion, of the past, you know, it's just what makes them so special. I'm not so sure. Maybe it was just a cohesiveness, you know, a togetherness, teamwork, mentality, perhaps those things. But I'm not even too sure what the answer was, you know, for why they got over the line compared to, like I said, debatably the better teams of the past.
Yeah, look, we've had better teams in the past, Jack, and that. But look, I think us getting over the line and eventually getting that hoodoo off our back, I think it was going to have to be done. Maybe not the Spurs way. You know, it was always going to have to be dogged. You were always going to have to show that resilient side to you and stuff like that. And I think that's maybe what this team has been able to demonstrate, despite the pressure they are under. They've been able to show in the Europa League that they've been able to be resilient, deliver big results, and get performances over the line. I think that's where maybe we let ourselves down in years gone by. We've been very pretty, but we've almost had a soft underbelly. Whereas this
Hmm.
time around, we've got a bit of steel, and that comes from the guy that everyone wants to sell.
Hmm. And then also, Lazy Eight, good to see you in the house. Saying strong lineup, lads. Smelling a W. It'd be great to finish the season off with
Be
a W,
great.
my friend. Would be absolutely class.
Yeah.
Um, and then Dark Sun G saying all the players that snubbed us must really regret it now.
Yeah. I'd be
Love
raging.
that, Dark Sun G. Very, very cheeky from you, sir. Very, very cheeky. Yeah, what was it? What was one of them? That striker. Oh, good. Maybe good turnover from Spurs there. But who's that striker who did so well? Why am I forgetting? I've been forgetting so many things in the last 48 hours. But the striker that went to Kolo Muani, you know, went to Juventus. You know, he was snubbing us. You know, felt like he wasn't go.
Oh, go on, Dom.
You
Unlucky.
know, he kind of sort of acted like he was too good for Spurs. You know, and what did Juventus win this season? Pamatasar.
Oh, unlucky, sir.
But absolutely right, Dark Sun G. You know, what are they thinking now? And also maybe it just makes us that bit more attractive for the summer, right? You know, getting into the Champions League makes you attractive, but then also, you know, being off the back of winning the Europa League certainly should as well. Brecon, member for 7 months. Thank you so much, Brecon. Saying pick up boys. Love the watch alongs this season. Appreciate you, man. Very,
Well,
very kind to
appreciate
us.
that,
Really do
Brecon.
appreciate you. Thank you to everybody that's been with us for these all season long. It's been testing. You've seen some bad ones,
Yeah.
like, in terms of Dave and I just being in the dumps. And I said it to Drew the other night, I was on his show and I said, listen, like, I am a happy clapper, but I am also someone who very much lives in the moment sometimes where, we get a 1-0 win over Fulham. I'm celebrating. I'm getting the pizza
Oh,
out. I'm getting the
oh,
pizza out. I'm getting, the beers ordered, all that stuff, with a
yeah.
1-0 win over Crystal Palace. But then also we lose 1-0 to Crystal Palace. And all of a sudden I'm in the dumps. I just sometimes live in the moment,
You
really,
have to live in
with
the moment
Spurs.
in life,
But
though.
it's been a tough slog, but it's just made it so worth it, man. And thank you for being
Look,
here with us.
Look, the thing is though, Jacko, people call it happy clapper, but it's the same with anything in life. If you can't sit there and enjoy moments, at the end of the day, life is 99% against you. It's designed to be tough with the taxes, low paid jobs and all that sort of shit. It's designed to be tough.
Yeah.
99% of things will go against you in life. That's why when you do have unbelievable moments or you find yourself in an unbelievable location, it's always good to sit there and take things in and live in the moment for a little bit,
Yeah.
or else what is the point in going through all the stresses of life? Honestly, you
Yeah.
have to live in the moment. I encourage everybody to do it.
Thank you to so many people in the house, so many lovely, lovely names and faces that I'm seeing in here. Thank you guys so much for being in here with us. Really do appreciate you all. But Spurs, have started brightly. The atmosphere is looking very, very pumped up. They're singing the Ange Postecoglou song, from what I can hear. Out wide to Archie Gray. Plays it. Oh, lovely for Brennan Johnson. Sean saying, and just standing on the sidelines posing for the sculptor. Love that, Shawnee.
4 minutes in, still 0-0. That's good.
We're going nuts for Ange Postecoglou. You can tell by the stadium atmosphere.
Yeah, they will. Look, a lot of people are calling it flip-flopping and stuff like that. At the end of the day, I'd argue the flip-flopping started, when people were saying all season long, Andrew's useless, he's never going to win it, and all of a sudden we beat Frankfurt away. Oh, we're going to win the Europa League. Is that not flip-flopping? Honestly, is that not still flip-flopping? It's madness. At the end of the day, I'm not even getting involved in it. Oh, 1 second.
Bentancur with an amazing interception here. Finds Tell.
Fucking Tell, dude.
Flips it across.
At the end of the day, I'm not getting involved in it. One thing I've always said, Jack, and me and you have maintained, you in the Europa League, you're going to feel much different. And people have.
Absolute
and
animal.
You're entitled to at the end of the day. If that's flip-flopping, fine. But don't accuse people of flip-flopping when you flip-flop yourself.
Also, I think, part of the reason we have sometimes these panel show discussions, pre-match build-up discussions, where we kind of talk about things. We talk about things kind of about the future, what could happen, these type of things. Oh! Bouncing inside the penalty area.
Close from Mickey Van de Ven.
Yard box. Looked like Brennan Johnson might have been onto that, and even Solanke maybe.
I think it was Mickey Van de Ven close as well. Maybe it was Solanke.
Bouncing in the box. In the 6-yard area.
At the end of the day, we're football fans. You win or you feel completely different to when you're losing. It's the way of life. Oh, who's that? Mickey Van de Ven, yeah. Is that, yeah? Yeah, it is. Oh, he's so close, man. Just goes over his shoulder. I think Solanke was hoping for a knockdown. He was ready to tap it in there.
Yeah, he might have just overran it there. But yeah, bright start from Spurs. Bentancur had that amazing interception.
Big up, everybody. Really appreciate all the love and everything else in the chat, But, we love you too, guys. Don't ever forget that, It works both ways. It's mutual. We love you too, honestly. Some of the love we were receiving over at the parade was actually overwhelming. It was madness, Really helps you feel integrated within the Spurs fan base, especially as a fan that's not in the environment, not in the pressure cooker, not around there all the time. As an outside, it really makes me feel a part. It's, and us a part. It's unbelievable. Really appreciate all the love, guys. But let's not forget, you guys have also gone through it like us.
Yeah.
You're here for every show and everything else. We've all done it together. That's
you've had to
thing about it. Without fighting with each other and everything else, we've all stuck by each other and we fucking delivered.
Yeah, we've all gone through it together and held each other up. Oof, dangerous pass there. Oh,
good interception. Can someone get
there,
there? Great, well done.
On to Tell.
Brilliant.
Can he find Solanke's one-on-one here, Tell?
Take your time. Shoots. Oh, not a great shot. Destiny Adogi.
Great interception from Archie Gray.
Can Brighton still qualify for Europe if they get a result today?
Someone had suggested that in their channel predictions, but I think they're towards the bottom end of it though, right? I think they're behind Brentford, they're behind Fulham, and I'm not sure about Bournemouth. Maybe even Bournemouth is ahead of them too. Someone in the chat, if you would not mind getting to us on that, if they do actually have an outside chance of still getting into the European places. I love some of the people in the house. El Dante, Sean, just saying, I've been flopping all over the place this year, but I have no care. No shame in it. Exactly. And even El Dante's right, saying, adjusting to the changes of events, adjusting to the circumstances, there's nothing wrong with that.
Flexibility of thought given the evidence coming to light.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not even engaging in that for the next few weeks. I'm on cloud 9.
Yeah, I'm happy Clapper mode engaged. I don't even care
no matter how much you try, I'm not coming down.
I even made the joke that, just for the sake of superstition, I said I would keep everyone, after this season for the sake of superstition. I even went as far to joke. I was like, maybe Timo Werner's the luck charm.
Yeah, some AK Shags asked me in the chat. I was like, look, I'm delirious, but I'm not that far gone.
You never know. Maybe he's the mascot of the team. He's won at so many clubs when he's barely contributed at all, in recent years. So you wonder if he's just a good luck charm.
That guy's football career is a fraud. Make a movie about him, Leonardo DiCaprio. Catch Me If You Can, #2. Honestly, these jellies are so good. Everyone, go and get sweets. Let's have a fucking party together. It's unreal. Tottenham are even playing all right. Come on, get after it. We've gone from believers to achievers. Let's act like it. Come on. We know what we are. We know what we are. European champions. We know what we are. We know what we are. Come on. It's festival time. Well done, Van de Ven. Tottenham Hotspur Festival. Rodrigo Bentancur still doesn't lose the class, even if he's sweating out Heineken.
Yeah, that sweat must stink tonight. I love it from Pop.
Oh, risky. Time for carry-on. No pressure. Oh,
Hey,
that's
lovely.
Go on, Archie. Good ball. On to Brennan.
Well done,
Shots
Brennan.
in again. Ole, ole.
Had some nice touches tonight, Brennan. Not looking as hungover as you would have expected.
No. Oh, no. Come on, tell him, Pappy. What was that? A doggy, get back there.
Also worth keeping an eye on of course, the Forest Chelsea game.
Oh, he's absolutely... Did that hit the bar? What's the top 4 playoff? Honestly, I haven't looked at anything.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I'll get you an update here.
I haven't looked at a fucking thing.
Van de Ven clears, Mats Wiefer. Oh, that would have been a hell of a goal.
That would have been a serious goal. Outside of the boot as well.
No, it was always going over. Always going over. But yeah, no, Chelsea and Forest are playing, and Forest win. Chelsea go below them. And then they also would steal a spot off of Aston Villa, which means Aston Villa would go to 7th. And then in terms of Brighton, I'm mistaken. Brighton are actually further. I think Brighton will get Europe no matter what.
Oh, Don Rodrigo. Come on, Pappy. Just play it. Let's go, Tal. You shouldn't be hungover.
I think Brighton will get Europe no matter
what.
what.
Into Rodrigo. Gets dispossessed.
So you wonder if they actually are playing with very little pressure.
Who?
Brighton, because they are on 59 points, and Brentford are just behind them in 9th on 56 points.
Yeah, but if we end up beating them, that's then a 2-point difference.
True. Yeah. Because right now they have a point.
I'm assuming they're registering now as a point, right?
Yeah. No, that fair point. Actually, smart of you.
Well, Paro, that guy just oozes class.
I'm gonna get
find out what recovery chamber he has in his house, and we need to start promoting it because he's got him through like 50-odd games this season.
4,000 minutes, man, and this team as well. What an anomaly. The only guy that's, Kulusevski at one point was getting praise for that, but then, of course, he pulled up with a big injury or two. Poro's just somehow, some way, stuck through it.
He's a machine. Honestly, he's a machine.
And playing in, as we know, maybe a position that he's still trying to get better at.
Sometimes I wonder if he's a real person.
Oh, fuck curse me. The commentator.
Jesus
curse
Christ.
The commentator.
Well done, man.
Number 20 there for Brighton would be a player I wouldn't mind taking a look at this summer. Baliba. If we replace Basuma, I wouldn't mind actually getting Baliba. I think he's a hell of a player, this guy, number 20.
He's had a decent season, though, right? To be fair.
He scored some absolute crackers.
Yeah.
And he just has a bit of quality on the ball, you can tell, just the way he carries himself.
Oh, don't let me
Minta, he's got pace, Minta.
Oh, well done. Good defending.
Skinned Poro and Archie pretty easily there. Drusilla
Really
sent in the super chat, Dave. He's saying there still is the argument and needs to prove that he can do it in the Prem weekly. The quality of the Europa League shouldn't be criticized, but the Prem is just a different breed altogether. Ange deserves backing, though, in my opinion. Let him and the Don cook this summer.
Well, I think that was part of the big problem. I've gone over after Johan Lang for quite, for the windows that he's delivered. I think he's had 3 windows, and I think compared to what Tottenham needs were, I think a lot of these windows were underwhelming. We didn't bring in a lot of quality. We brought in a lot of players that you have to develop, and in order to develop players, you end up losing games. It's a part of the learning process, which has probably contributed to it. I just hope now that Paratici's back. First of all, he comes back and makes a statement with a statement signing. I think that's a video we can do. What a statement signing do we think he's going to deliver? But I also believe the quality is going to just be a little bit better, or a bit better than what Johan Lang's been able to bring. I've always said I think Paratici could always convince people Tottenham was the right place for them. I think Johan Lang, the only dream he could sell was the Premier League dream. He couldn't eat the players that just wanted to get to the Premier League at all costs. I don't think they really care who they were signing on for to a large degree. Whereas Paratici, trying to convince someone like Romero, a Serie A defender of the year, even James Maddison, who had a lot of interest in him and stuff, that Tottenham's the right place to come. It's not an easy job to do, especially when he had to do it. So I think, I'm excited to see what him and Paratici can do, because at the end of the day, when they worked together in the first season, they delivered 5th in the league. Look, I take the point, and this is the whole thing around Postecoglou. I think this is where, right now, I see a lot of the skepticism come in. Can he deliver over multiple competitions? So like I said, the expectations is built up now. It's going to be there, and there's going to be even more scrutiny.
Benton class.
Someone stroked me off. That's unbelievable. What have I just watched? Matisse Tell, and he fucks it up. That was unbelievable from Rodrigo
Benton class.
But the expectations are there now, Drewski. So, that means we have to bring the quality. This squad, we were going to suffer similar next season if we don't drastically improve it in terms of the players we're signing. So, but I've always said quality matters. You bring in quality, you can compete. It's that simple. It really is that easy. It's not hard. People make out football to be rocket science sometimes. It's not. You just bring in quality players, you win.
Well done, Gray. Well
well
done,
done.
Sar.
Oh, great ball.
Get there, Tell. One-on-one
great
now.
ball.
Take a chance to your kid. Take a
Great
chance.
ball.
Sir!
Penalty! Blow it, ref! Yes! Matisse Tell. Jack, the weight of that pass from Papa Matasar was unbelievable.
Perfect.
He's my side.
He's got that little cut inside, Matisse Tell. He does have a little tricky touch here. Yeah, that's 100% nailed on pen. Stamps over the cross of his foot there.
He's our Simon, waiting to be a star.
Come on.
Plays for Tottenham Hotspur.
Who's taking it, though? Is Matisse Tell going to take it, or is Dom Solanke going to take it?
Come on, Dom. Or are they going to give it to Johnson? Let him be another hero. It's Dom, is it?
I think it would be Dom or Tell. It looks like Dom. Yep, there it is. Come on, baby. I set a little stat pad tonight for Dom Solanke.
I've got the arrow ready. Let's have it, Dom.
Dave's got a queue of arrows ready.
Yeah, I've gone Robin Hood now. Cupid arrow. Let's go. Bottom right. We know where it's going, Dom. Dom. Dom, Dom, Solanke. Dom, Solanke. 65 million down the drain. Dom Solanke scores again. Come on!
Oh, too easy. Easy.
It's a great time to be alive. See, your European champions now, the swagger's flowing through them. The slouch bodies, the unhappy faces, they're all gone. Look at them. They're all 6'4", 10 inches in length downstairs. They're all absolutely living up to what a penalty from Dom Solanke. Down the middle yet again. It's his favourite penalty. It's beautiful.
Absolutely buried that.
Oh, look at that. Come on, give me the arrow. I'm ready. I'm open.
Catch it, Dave. Catch it.
Thank you.
Oh, what a penalty. Great move by Matisse Tell. Great interception from the midfield. I think Archie Gray was the one who turned it over. Got it into Sar. Sar with that great weighted pass, like Dave mentioned, to Matisse Tell. Spurs are 1-0 up already. Great start. This is exactly what the atmosphere needed as well. They're just going to be buzzing all night. Get the drink orders in, everybody.
No time for losers, because we are the champions, my friends. Come on. Big Dom. Like I said, the cockerel's no longer crying. It's fucking crowing, baby. Come on, smash him. Well done.
We got another one. Get onto it.
I still can't get over his dance moves, Jack. They were unbelievable. Reverse cowgirl and everything. It was class.
Stanzo on the dance floor. Spurs are in the mood. He's going to replace Werner now.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to write lyrics for that one. I was saying I'm disappointed Romero didn't
You
score
could
in
do
the final.
Danzo in the Moonlight. Isn't Dancing in the Moonlight, a
Oh,
song? Danzo in the Moonlight?
do you know what? That could be a cracking one, Jacko. Dancing in
Danzo
the
in the
moonlight,
moonlight. Kevin,
Kevin
Kevin,
Danzo.
Kevin, Danzo in the moonlight.
Everybody feeling warm and bright. Natural delight. Rodrigo Bentancur's like a man fucking possessed out here. He's doing everything. He's skinning them, making tackles everywhere. So who gave him a Heineken before the game? Let him go. give him one every game. Actually, no, we're going into the Reese category then. We don't want to do that. Stands up, brilliant. Onto the Porinator. Moves that into Dominic Solanke. Look at him, he's moving like a fucking world champion now. Prime Stallion Racehorse. Oh, there we go, Danzo. Dancing in the moonlight with Kevin Danzo. Who else we got in the house? Big up, Drewski. Big up. We got to back him. You're absolutely spot on. Let the Don cook. Let's get some recipes, the famous Italian recipes out. We've got Daniel Larson. We are the champions, my friends. Much love, guys. That we are, Daniel.
Daniel, good to see you, brother.
I woke up every single morning, 6 feet tall, happy. Honestly, I just can't stop smiling. No one can actually take me off this pedestal. I could be walking along. People could be throwing eggs at me, flour, calling me a dick. I'm still just going to walk along smiling. I'm a European champion, baby. Eat that one. Come on, get after him. Smash him. Danzo stands him up. That's brilliant.
Gonna have a shot. Well done by Gray. He's gotten stuck in tonight, Gray.
Guys, let's get in some song suggestions for some of these players. Let's get some lyrics going. I've got that song, Mr. Bombastic. I've turned that one into a Romero song. They call him Mr. Bombastic, defender fantastic. Watch as he contributes goals. Mr. Romantic, tackles fantastic. Watch as he goes. I'm thinking some more Shaggy songs. What about Angel by Shaggy? Turn that into a Mickey Van de Ven one. That'd be beautiful. We need some cult classic songs that we can turn. Nick, you're the guy for that. You're a musical guy. You and DJ AK need to get together. I gave him your number, by the way. Hopefully you don't mind. But you need to get together and start creating some classic songs for these Spurs players.
Just going to grab a bit more coffee.
Jack, you get the coffee. I'd say have an Irish one.
I wish.
A bit of whiskey into it. It's party time.
I wish.
And maybe have a donut as well. Why not go for it? Brighton just knocking about. To be honest, they're boring me. Rodrigo Bentancur. He's a fucking real European heavyweight now. He is a man possessed out here today. The opening 20 minutes is the best I've seen from him all season long. He is everywhere. It's almost, he's feel like, right, I've had all my beer now. I've earned it. Now it's time for me to get back working hard. Look at that. Just bam. Fuck off. Give me that boy, twat. Brilliant. Oh, what a tackle. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Spend the night together. That's Venga Boys. Great, great band. We like to party. Another free kick to Tottenham. Come on, we're going to go 2 here. Batista picking up another one.
Spurs have been in the mood here.
Tyler says, tell is active. That he is, my man. Radioactive, baby. I need to calm down. I'm losing one of my
Dave, that's happy clapper mode. That's what it is. Can't calm down. No one can bring you down. I think someone even said that after the win, right? He goes like, lads, I've been buzzing. I can't be calmed down. I can't be controlled.
I wonder
Artist
is
T sang "Steal the John Philippe Mateta" song for Solanke.
What's that?
I'm trying to think. I think I know it. I'm trying to, it's trying to come to me here.
I'll be expecting a phone call in about 2 hours' time from the Indian takeaway today. My order should be ready. I have to pay for it today, though, which is disappointing. But I told him, I says, it tastes much better when it's free, so whenever you want to do that, I'll be more receptive to it. But he started laughing. He's like, come on now, Dave, you have to pay me. I was like, okay, fair enough. We'll pay. We'll pay this week. Lewis. Instead of that's amore, that's Benchicore. Venga Boys, RST. If you don't know who they are, look them up, my man. What was bad, Tyler? My Romero song. Give it over. Dark Song G says it's no coincidence that once Dyer and Sanchez left. Well, I've always said that, Dark Song G. They're not the guys to be pinning your hopes on.
So many of these guys.
You're an idiot, Dave. They're not performing because of you, Dave. You're the fucking problem. I've always said, well, if I'm their problem, then they should be bounced out of this club. We're never winning anything. And then we moved them on, and here, presto, we bring in the likes of Rombom, Van de Ven, Porro, Destiny, and look what happens, We go and create clean sheets, and we go and win trophies. I mean, it's not hard, is it? You bring in good players, and you win.
It's almost worth a video. It's almost worth a video on its own, just looking at the reject players from before. The Dohertys, the Winks, the Auriers, these sort of kind of players. I mean, geez.
Oh, there's days I felt like crying. We were so bad defensively, and even just trying to play out from the back.
Or just mentalities of these players, too. Mentalities of the players were awful.
Yeah. I'm so glad.
Let alone the quality. Pedro Porro.
Go on, bounce. Oh.
Good idea. Good idea.
If that just bounced, it would have got through that. Dante says the Chinese restaurant made me pay yesterday too. They don't realize we're European champions. As supporters, this is our week. I mean, what I will say is, El Dante, did you walk in with Spurs gear on? I think, if you walked in with Spurs gear, he might have been sound enough to offer you. But what I suggest is, whatever places don't honour you being a European champion, just let the Spurs community, we'll show up and protest. A bit like what all the people do to all the steak restaurants. We'll turn up in numbers and protest. All of Eddie's clans outside the steak restaurants.
Thanks for all the generous support, everybody. Dark Sun G, Druzilla, Daniel Larson, Daddy Larson. So many of you guys. Appreciate you all.
Right, I've had too much fizzy now. I need to go in the water. I need to calm down.
Getting in the bath that the Spurs players get in. Oh, sir!
Come on now, ref.
Naughty.
Can we get some respect around here?
It's naughty, referee.
Big Dom, big bad Dom. Big up, Dub Shaman. Shawnee Maddox, United ending the 17th would be the icing on the cake. Honestly, it'd be brilliant. I'll be straight into Goldbridge to see what he's mowing about tonight. King Huddle, there's not even radio commentary over there. Bloody disgracia. Did someone say if we win today, we're going up to the dizzying heights of 14th?
Jeez.
That changes the complexion a little bit, doesn't it? It sounds better than finish 17th, barely avoided relegation and won a trophy. Finish 14th, that sounds a little bit better. Good ball into Dom. Oh, he leaves it. It's brilliant tapping. Oh, it's great footwork. Now just release style. That's all you got to do. He doesn't. He does. It's a brilliant ball.
Udogi. It might have been offside. Played a little too late, Pop Sar. Fantastic touch from Dom Solanke to put it on to Sar, but also the way Mickey Van de Ven got out of the pressure there, that was lovely. Played a little cushion, little touch kind of between 2 or 3 players, closing in on him.
Oh, there's
Spurs legends there. Flat Cap Army represented.
Yeah, it's great to see it being represented. Do you know what? The love that Sandro got when they called him out. Oh, lad.
Oh,
he is
proper
definitely
Spurs.
called a hero. Oh, good play. Come on, Porro. Burn him. Good move.
Oh, just play Solanke there, man. He had Solanke through.
Oh, go on. Keep going. Keep knitting them at him. We're rats. That's what we are. Let's go.
Oh. Yeah, just play Solanke through there, man.
Brighton
Look at Dom hustling back, though. Look at Dom hustling back.
Picking up Porro slack. Johnson fills in at right back. It's gone all the way across, and it's gone out for a Tottenham throw-in. Big up on RS for Sire. Great to see you, my fellow European champion. Come on. You know. RST, new song for Dom. Dom. I want you in my room. Spend the night together. I think that's Jack's version. Jack loves it
That's
way
so
more than I
funny.
do.
That's a good one.
That's Jack's version,
I want
lad.
you in my room.
I'll stick to the shameless 65 million down the drain, because that was what I was harping on about. Jack is the one that wants him in the room.
Everyone's saying hungover Johnson is a lot better.
Honestly, it's like they gave them rocket fuel. Probably dropping Barocca in every drink they had, Jack. I don't hear like Duracell batteries. But Bentacore has been absolutely sensational the open half an hour. He's been fucking
Yeah, the midfield, Archie Gray, Sarr, and Bentancur turned it over plenty of time.
Come on, ref, you pussy. Let's get on with it. We don't need any more than 90 minutes today. We're European champions. Our time is precious.
We have a lap of honor we need to do here, ref.
Exactly. We've got a season awards to dish out. We've got a European trophy to come out. We've got a what's it called? I can't even get my words out. Honestly, I can't think straight anymore. Oh,
sketchy.
Oh, clear. Oh, no. Get out there.
Well done, Gray.
There we go.
Good
there
block,
we go.
Gray. Played great defensively today, Gray.
Go on, nick that. He doesn't want it. Go on. You got him, Dom. Go on, dummy. Was that
Pedro? Yeah, little Poro.
But wear red boots.
Star.
God, that's it. We got them. We've got them, Pappy. We've got them, Pappy. Oh, ref, don't you dare. Don't you dare, you.
Again, great effort levels from some of the players that you would think would be absolutely shattered. Yeah, Hinchell would, completely unmarked. Actually, Archie Gray probably needs to take responsibility there. And Solanke.
Tony Buttigieg. Guys, I'm very happy for us winning Europa League, but let's not let it grow our heads. In my opinion, we are still poor in performance.
We're 1-0 up now.
I understand what you're saying, Mr. Buttigieg. But what I will say is, Tony, is I've waited 33 years for this. So if you think I ain't going to let it grow me a big fat head, even though it's already big and fat anyway, you're sadly mistaken. I'm going to become arrogant towards every other fan, not Tottenham fans, every other fan of every other club, severely arrogant in my support and double down when they're in my in my presence and stuff like that. I'll be like free from my presence and shit like that. And I understand, the league campaign this year hasn't been good enough. But at the end of the day, I've waited 33 years and I'm going to enjoy this for a few weeks. Then once it's done, I'll come back down to reality. But yeah, Tony. So I am going to get carried away. I'm sorry, definitely am. Shoot me down. I don't mind. We won a European trophy. Celebrating that is the worst thing in the world. I'm guilty. Lock me up. I even had there was even some fans in under the watchalong. Oh, we're not European champions. And I just responded. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought we had to beat teams across Europe to win it. It's madness. When it comes to Tottenham, people always want to belittle our achievements. It's absolutely mind-boggling. It's a joke. I'm not having it. Should be proud that we've won this. Wait, 33 years of my life to see that bus come down with all the flares and the images were better and the being there was better than what I can ever imagine. So shoot me for enjoying it.
Way.
Tony, I think you should just allow yourself to be with us today. Just get carried away. Yeah. Get out the bucket hats. Get out the scarves.
Take a happy clapper pill.
Sit there in your jocks and just enjoy yourself, man.
Yeah. Pour yourself a drink. Pour yourself a happy clapper drink. Just let it loose.
I woke up this morning, my feet touched the floor.
Take an Ange pill.
Happy clapper mode, engaged, and I couldn't help it.
And a van. Lovely. Out wide to tell.
These fried eggs are lovely.
Sunny side up, Dave, or over easy?
I got sunny side up on these ones.
I like a good runny egg.
Do you?
I like my egg to bleed.
No, I don't. I like mine. I like the yolk cooked.
It's nice if it bleeds because then you can dip the toast in it. Oh, lovely from Sar.
Like
Great getting stuck in.
That's it. Keep smashing your way through. There we go. Oh, Brennan Johnson, look at him.
Hey!
Oh, look at him. Oh, he's on it today. Johnson again, ole ole. Johnson again. Johnson again. Johnson again, ole ole.
Mark is saying we were watching the trailer to season 3.
Oh, I love that. Oh, look at the football we're playing. Oh, no, you can't do that there, Archie. Ref, come on now. Yellow card. Short round of respect. Oh, look at them. They're all fawning over him now. Johnson, do you want me to help you up? You're a European champion. Fuck off. Get off him. Let's see if Tony got back into us. Come on, Tony. Engage with us. Happy clapper mode.
Spur Crow saying football is all about moments. If you're not going to celebrate the moments, the good moments along the way, what is even the point?
Yeah.
Very well said. Might as well just find a different sport.
Guarantee you, those who don't sit there and enjoy this moment will become very, very frustrated with Tottenham next season when things don't get right because they haven't been allowed themselves to sit here and enjoy it.
It's not like other sports, you know, you kind of get to see, you know, in case of baseball, basketball, like they kind of play almost every day or every other day. Like that's the thing with football that, you know, they play like 2 or 3 times a week. So there is a bit of, you know, daylight between games. So you do kind of have to mull it over, you know, and you have to think about, you know, the impact of every loss and every win. And then you get another chance to make up for it. But it's not like, you know, you just get to go again, you know, the next day or anything like that.
No.
So that's kind of what it is about. You know, you do have to just you have to live in the moment. And
Spot on.
So Spur Crow is right. You just have to take the good moments and the bad moments.
I don't see Leighton Evelyn in the chat today.
Oh, Udogi.
I wonder if he engaged Happy Clapper mode and gone to the stadium today. Leighton. My Leighton, if you're out there, please make yourself known.
Yeah, Leighton's gone hiding. He's gone missing.
We need a welfare check on Leighton, please. And you know what? I missed your comment today calling me a happy clapper. The one day where I'm sitting here in bucket hat, scarf, and everything else, you didn't comment.
EB, good to see you in the house. Saying Dave doing a snack watch along. Yeah, he's got the fried eggs out.
I've got everything out.
Trophy eggs. Now with how expensive eggs are getting too, you know, it's almost now a delicacy.
Are Brentford winning, by the way? Because if Brentford are winning,
yeah, they are.
Changes. Are they?
Yeah. They're singing the Ange song, everybody. They're singing the Ange song.
I'm loving. Come on. I'm loving big engines.
They're doing the glue. Spurs are on the break here.
Come on.
Bentancur, can he find maybe
what to do.
Gets to Porro. Can we get Porro smash?
Jeez! No! How's he not scored? We don't want to sign him. Send him back. Byron, have him back. Have him back.
Yeah, he's got to bury that. I even said in the predicted lineup, Dave, you know, I like Matisse Tell, but the one thing about him is he just doesn't really put away his chances. That was an easy chance to bury. I probably could have buried that one. I think Bentancur's challenge was a red card.
I would have buried that with my eyes closed. Ah, no, that's not a red card. That's insane. If that's a red card, the game's gone. We're cancelling the watch along. How can you do a watch along when they're killing the game?
Yeah, yellow card. Bentancur probably did that out of frustration, though, because, I mean, he played the pass to Porro. Porro,
But correct me if I'm wrong,
Porro disguised the pass really well. He made it look like he was going to go for the shot and made Telles just got to bury it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though, Jack. On them sort of challenges, like, should we not be getting a bit of leniency now?
He should. Oh, he's just got to bury that. He's just got to bury that. Hit it with the right as well, man. Because if you hit it with the right, you can put it either side. Put it near post or put it far post. But if you hit it with the left
is the wrong option.
He knows where you're going if you hit it with the left. He knows exactly where you're going.
Sonny there would open his body and shape up on the right, and he'd score that.
Oh, that was golden chance there. Golden chance. I think he's got to bury that. No excuses. Got to bury that 9 times out of 10. Good block from Porro. And again, very, very well-weighted pass by Porro onto Matisse Tell. He should have gotten an assist. Well done from Gray. He's done very well defensively. I'll keep saying that today, Gray.
A much better half of football than what I thought we were in for, to be quite frank.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, fair.
Ooh, wench past the coglu.
Dave, would you know the tune to this song from Paul McWilliams? Absolute craziness. Love it. I'm Dynamite, Bentancur?
No. Let me put it into Google.
Anybody know the tune to this one? AC/DC, he sang TNT. Oh, TNT. So lock up your daughter. Wait. Lock up your wife. Lock up your back door. Run to your life. The man is back in town, so don't mess me around. I'm Bentancur. I'm dynamite. Bentancur. And I'll win the fight.
I like that one. Big
I like that. I don't know how to do the tune, to the previous lyrics because I only really know the chorus, I think. And I know that song from like various like skater video games from back in the day. Love that, Paul. Thank you so much, sir.
If we can get one to the tune of Thunderstruck or Highway to Hell, that would be unbelievable. But I like that. Great effort. I mean, we actually need to applaud that effort.
Dynamite. Bentancur, and I'll win the fight.
Love that. Good effort, Jacko. We need to applaud the effort here.
It's a good yank. It's a good yank voice. You know that one. It's a good yank voice.
Great effort, Paul McWilliam. Now, it's on. Can people beat Paul's one? Hopefully, Jack done it justice there as well, Paul. Let us know. Grade it out of between 1 and 10 there on Jacko's effort, my man. Great effort, Jacko. Danzo. Goes long. Go on, Dom. Oh,
here you go, Dom. Give him the weight room. Show him the weight room.
What a touch. Outside of the boot. Takes it in his stride. That's unbelievable. The Porinator.
Nice, Porro. Good close control there.
Danzo. Onto Mickey. Mickey. Onto Destiny. Lovely little step over. Into Matisse Tal. He's no option. Someone help him. Well done. Holds it up well. Onto Van de Ven. Danzo. Good ball down the channel. Just making Brighton earn it now. The urgency is there now. Brentford have gone 1 up.
Nice, Sar.
Oh, good ball.
Nice from Tal. Very nice.
Yeah, whip it now. Oh, whip it now. Dom was in there.
Had his head down.
He's got to whip that in. Dom was there. He's ahead of his man as well. He's in the right position to receive that and take it on. Tottenham just keeping possession now. Probably tired after the weekend and the energy they put in so far. Brighton getting hard on the press here, though. Good ball down the line. Well done. This is good stuff from Tottenham. This is a good 45 minutes. Spurcrow, Highway to Hell, AC/DC. Let's see if we can get a player tune to that. Oh, Paul McWilliams gone with a 7, Jack. He liked it. Big up, Paul. Big fan of it. You might have to give him another go, Jack.
James Watson, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Yeah, that's what it was. It was that, and it was definitely, I think, probably something on like, the back in the day when there was like the little Game Boys, the really, really tiny ones.
Yeah.
Not like the Nintendo DS's, but like the Game Boy Advance.
The blue. I think you can get them in blue, green.
Yeah,
yellow,
like
and
the
red,
little tiny square ones.
Yeah.
I think it might have had some sort of music like that as well.
I remember my parents got me one
And
for Christmas
something on the
that
Xbox
Pokemon.
when I was playing Xbox. I think there was, a Tony Hawk game that had that song.
Was Tony Hawk on the PlayStation as well? I think it was.
Look at the ground Bentancur can cover.
There we go, Rodrigo.
Closing that down. Very unselfish from Bentancur.
Take this.
Oh, he's an animal.
Let's get him warm. Put it back on near the end of the game.
Space for Minta. Well done, Udogi. Minta here. Whips it in. Dealt with by Danzo. Good clearance. Good touch from Tell. Win this, Dom. Well done, Dom.
Yes,
Show him the weight room,
yes,
son.
Tommy. Play him. Release him.
Oh, wow. He's won that, Baliba. What a challenge.
Just see out the half. See out the half. Oh, dummy. Brilliant tackle.
Oh, dangerous.
Well
Wow,
done,
good
Vicario.
catch
Well
from
held.
Vicario. Great
It's
catch.
fucking brilliant. Well done, Big Vic.
Great
Big
catch. That was a
victorious.
dangerous cross.
That's what we're going to call him from now on, Jack. Victorious. Well done, Dom. Jeez, he's been fucking immense up there today. Wins another one. Polly Cooper, AC/DC, Highway to Tell. Love that. We're on a highway with Tell. Highway. Oh, it's getting into juvenile banter now. Love it. Look at that. Big Dom. Nice and strong. Days like this, I have to go back down to the pound shop and buy a 5-year-old blow-up paddling pool and sit in it. It's so warm.
Looks like Dom is really holding his head there. He might feel that in the morning.
It's all right. Richie's coming on at halftime anyway. Dom's had a big game
Yeah,
today.
he's really holding his head though. That's not too good.
No, that's sore there in the back of the head as well. It's a bit of a soft spot there, isn't it? That's a sore one, that.
He's really not feeling too good.
I'll go and get him checked, to be honest.
Just, yeah, he's really been holding it. Not like one that he's rubbing at all. It's like one he's really holding. But what a wonderful half, everybody. I'd say definitely the better team. Brighton maybe had one or two sketchy moments, but apart from that, Spurs should be 2-0 up. Matisse Tell had an opportunity to make it 2, should have made it 2. And Spurs are in the mood, Dave. I think, we are playing actually a lot better than what I expected, to be perfectly honest. I thought we would see a few hungover kind of performances, maybe some loose passing here and there. I think it's actually been pretty sharp, some pretty quick stuff from us. Really just actually nice football, dare I say, at times, actually, from this team. And some really good turnovers from the midfield, some really good interceptions, some good breaking up of play. I've actually been well pleased with what I've seen so far this half. And that's probably with, the context of maybe I wasn't expecting a whole lot, from this game. I'm not sure what I was really expecting in terms of performance. I think we expected a good atmosphere. Definitely saw that, before the game. But the Spurs team have given this atmosphere, given this club, given the fans at the stadium, something to really get behind. I think we could go on and win this game.
Look, I came into this game willing to give them every excuse in the book today.
Yeah.
Every single excuse. Looking at the state of half of them players who are in for the parade, you're talking they would have been drinking Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Probably some of them might even went for a couple of cures yesterday. They would have been drinking all the time. I was coming in here ready to give them every excuse. And to be honest, just watch 11 men trying to defend their goal. But we've come out here today. We've played handball. And I like it, I like it, I like it, I like it. Oh,
Whoa.
whoa, handball. Absolutely, lad. It's so much better than what I thought. But I would argue as well. I think the weight is lifted off these players, and I
Yeah.
think this could be, could be good going into next season. When we lost the amount of games we've lost, the criticism that's come their way and everything else, you could see almost in some of their body shapes coming out to the game, like, oh, we're going to be defeated again, everyone's going to be on our back. But all of a sudden, you win a European trophy. It does wonders for your confidence. Now we're out here today playing handball, which looked like we couldn't play all season long. And we can't sit here and say, oh, it's an end of season game, it's easy. Bullshit. Brighton are trying to play for Europa League or Europa Conference League places. They're trying to get back into Europe. They have to come and win this game. But we've played them off the park. Maybe we're paying them back for the 3-2 humbling we took at their place when we were 2-0 up. What I will say is I hope Matisse tells the opportunity we don't come back to rue that. But if we go and score a second goal, this is done and dusted.
Yeah, I think we've looked really good and well
European
beyond.
champions. We look like it out there. We look like European champions out there,
Look
Jacko.
look a lot better than what we did, of course, in the previous Premier League games. But we know now the context of it. They were reserving themselves for the more important games in the Europa League, and then also, you had some of the teams that we were coming up against at the time. All they had left was these Premier League games, where we had something far more important to be focusing on. But now that we're European champions, this is the last game of the season. They clearly now shifted their priorities to now being able to put over a good performance here today, to get us something to get behind. So I think it's just showing that, when this team, can really focus their heads and focus their minds, on the game at hand, instead of thinking about something a little bit further along, in the future, if there's a more important game down the road, if all they have to focus on is just this one game, they can really churn out good performances. This has been some nice football, I would say, at times. And I think we deserve to be at least 2-0 up. Tell did very well to win the penalty, but then he also should have buried the other one. He's actually had a pretty bright game for the most part. It's just kind of do question, maybe the clinical edge, because I feel like he's had chances like that for a large part of this season that he's just not been able to put away. But again, like Spurs, maybe Brighton had like one or two kind of chances that maybe bounce of a ball or a better finish could have gone better for them. But Spurs, in my opinion, have looked like the better team. Spurs look like they're going to go on and win this game, if you ask me. And what a way to finish off the season. Give ourselves a lap of honor with a win. The pressure's off. Feel good factor going on through the stadium. Clearly a feel good factor going on through the players. There's no tension. There's no stress, no pressure really on them. And they're delivering tonight. So fair play once again to these boys.
No, fair play to them. Fair play to them. Look, when it comes to Matisse Tell, I just wonder, will that miss define whether Tottenham, buy him or not? Because I would argue, I think that's been a big part of our problem with some of these youngsters this season. They haven't been clinical when we've needed them to. Moments to kill the game. They haven't been able to take the opportunities. And this is what I keep saying. When you're buying these young players in the forward line, you're going to see simple misses like that not be put home, because it's the youthfulness, it's the rawness of them.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, because if he scored that and that's in the back of the net, you watch Twitter after, we're fickle. Look how quickly people change their hands past the Coglu. You'll see everybody snap him up, snap him up, snap him up, snap him up, because he's also on the penalty. But I think when he's missed that, I think then the question comes in. We can't afford to miss them in games next season. We've got to bury them. So that means then we've got to go out and get a player that's ready for the here and now. So that opens it up to that conversation. I feel sorry for me, T-Style, but, that's something that I've sort of been trying to highlight since we were signing them.
In terms of like notable performances, I would say Archie Gray has actually been a lot better this game. In other games, I would say he kind of looked a bit lost in midfield, both out of possession and in possession. Out of possession in this game, I think he's been superb. I think he's probably had some of the most challenges, some of the most blocks, some of those breaking up to play. He's had a lot of, challenges, have worked well for him. He's made some nice interceptions. I think he's had a great game defensively, Archie Gray. I'd also say Bentancur, despite, running his lungs out in the final, the Europa League semifinals, once again, somehow this guy just has an incredible engine on him, an incredible motor. I'd say something similar to Pop Machsar, but for me, it would probably go Archie Gray, then Bentancur in terms of notable performances in that midfield. And then you would say, the back line really haven't looked that shaky at all. They haven't had too much to deal with. Like I said, maybe a few moments there for Brighton. But for the most
Carrio's been
part,
tested. He's been good.
yeah, that's not really been that dangerous, for the most
No, but
part.
like there was a shot or two he saved, and then there was also that cross near the end. That he handled. He's done with what he's had to. I agree with you. They haven't really been tested a whole lot, but I think Vicario has done well in that regard. But
Yeah.
I think Dominic Solanke deserves a lot of praise actually today. He's won everything that's come his way. He's won
Oh,
absolutely
he's a
everything.
workhorse. No, he's a complete workhorse. It's kind of similar to what you would say with Bentancur. The fact that this guy is still running, as hard as he is, despite all the effort he put in
Yeah,
that final, it just shows the. I mean, I would I would love to be in the shape that Bentancur and the likes of Solanke are in, and some of these guys. It's amazing to
yeah,
watch. Matisse Tell, like I said, very very bright. He's definitely had the majority of possession of that forward line. We're continuing to go down his side. He's causing problems. He's a live wire. He's creative. It's just, again, I'll bring up that clinical edge just doesn't seem to be
mm,
there. Johnson, I wouldn't really criticize him all that much, but once again, you wouldn't really say a lot of the play has necessarily gone down his side, but he's had some nice touches here and there, had some nice little moves to, kind of flick it on to someone. He's been pretty efficient, with when he's had the ball, but wouldn't really say anybody's really been sloughing. You wouldn't really say anybody's looked that hungover, and that's what Dave and I have been kind of worried about.
yeah.
Maybe going into this game, you would say maybe there would have been a few passes that would have gone out of bounds, Dave, or a few passes you would have accidentally kicked into the stands when there was someone wide open, or
I would
maybe
have
you would have
accepted that today.
maybe sometimes when guys didn't know there was a man on, because they're getting a little wobbly, they don't know what's kind of around them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say that at all. It's actually been a lot sharper, a lot cleaner than what we've seen weeks gone by, before this. So
Well,
again, I'm impressed.
I think even the people that are still maybe leaning towards Ange out, they'll be looking at that today, go, well, where has that been all season? Do you know what
Well,
I mean? If they
well,
played like
now we
that
know
all
the
season,
context. They were reserving it for the more important competition, I
yeah,
guess.
fair enough. And then you take injuries into account and stuff like that. But I even think many people would argue if we just saw that a little bit earlier, or a couple of games ago in the league, maybe it would have swung more narratives and stuff like that. But look, at the end of the day, I was expecting fuck all today. Like I said, I came in here with no expectations, willing to give them every excuse I could even think of today. But they proved me wrong. They come out here and they put in a good committed
Yeah.
forwards. Maybe they want to come out here and make a statement. This is what we're going to be like going into next season. Maybe that getting that trophy, that brings about a hunger, a desire because of the prestige, the respect that
Yeah.
comes with it, the adulation that comes with it. And all of a sudden, you want players that want more of it. And then they understand in order to get more of it, you've got to win. You've got to be at your
100%.
best. You've got to be consistent. And I think maybe that's what we're seeing today.
No, I think that is what we're saying. I'm trying to think of some other talking points. Good to see some people in the house here. Said Johnson's been doing well defensively, says Lily White's India.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, like I would have a lot of excuses for Johnson. He had his birthday recently on the day of the parade. They were well oiled for that parade. And then also to have your birthday on the same evening. And Johnson, I think, is a bit like Madison. I think he enjoys to have a good, he likes to have a good time.
Yeah.
And he's done pretty well so far. In terms of substitutions, let me know in the chat, everybody, what you would
Youngsters.
do. I would maybe take Bentancur off, even though I think he's been great. He is on a yellow card. Then again, like last game of the season, maybe you could risk it to some degree. We don't have a lot of depth in midfield at the end of the day, anyways, right? The only player that can really come on in midfield is the likes of Basuma. I could go to the lineup here, and actually, we didn't even get the chance, I guess, to read aloud the bench. But I think there's Kinski. You have the likes of Spence. You have Ben Davis. You have Basuma. You have Olasesi. That's a midfield option alongside Basuma to some extent. You have Ajayi. He's more of a forward. You have Mikey Moore, more of a forward. Odebear forward. Richarlison. So plenty, like we've said this for a while now. The depth is up front. If you wanted to make changes, straight away, you could easily make them in the forward areas. But then when it comes to the midfield, the only real options are Olasesi and Basuma.
Yeah.
Basuma, we all know, probably I'm not sure if he really strikes me as a big drinker or anything like that, Basuma, but I think he's just a guy who probably really partied, his time out, probably the dance moves, are maybe making him a bit sore over the period here. But Dave, I mean, it'd be nice to see Olasesi and Mikey Moore, I guess, come on at some point. Those are the two that we would love to see.
Did you say Ajayi's on the bench as well?
Ajayi's on the bench, he would be more of a winger option, right? Maybe off
Yeah,
the
but
right or something like that. And then Olasesi, have we ever seen Olasesi be given minutes?
no, I don't even
I
think
think he's only made the bench, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I would like to see Ajayi and Mikey Moore be rewarded for their efforts because got to remember, especially Mikey Moore, he played the group games. He played a lot of the group games, and sometimes he was the light, shining light coming out of it.
Yeah.
Many people coming out of the games praising the youngsters. Elfsberg, 10 minutes to go. We needed players to step up and help us win, or as a part could have been so different. These guys stepped up. Ajayi, Mikey Moore. And I think, look, we couldn't get them on in the final. I understand that, and I think they understand that to a large degree. It was all about getting over the line. But I think today is the time to put them out there in front of fucking 60-odd thousand people and let them get the adulation for their contribution that they deserve. Today is the opportunity to do that. If Ange Postecoglou has, especially someone like Mikey Murphy has plans for him next season, you get him out there today, because all of a sudden that inspires you as a youngster. You go over the summer, you work, you improve, you want to come back and be better. But I just think ultimately, morally, I think it's the right thing to do to say thank you very much for your contribution.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we're going to see Basuma come on. I think, it'd be nice to see Olasesi, Mikey Moore, and Ajayi at some point come on, maybe at various stages, depending on the result. Like I said, we could be 2-0 up, and then maybe this would be an easier decision for Ange, if we were already 2-0 up. The fact that we're not, game is, of course, still in the balance to some degree. I do want to take a moment, though, everybody, to talk about NordVPN, of course. Final time of the season, so your final chance to get your opportunity to get a deal, especially if you are in the VPN market and you are looking to grab one. I know it's summer approaching, people are going on vacation, time off of school, all that type of good stuff. So please, everybody, if you are in the market for one, take a look at ours, get yourself a 2-year plan, use the code FLATCAP, 30-day money-back guarantee if you are not satisfied. Said this before, plenty of reasons to have one, plenty of reasons why you should have one. If you are traveling, you're on a free Wi-Fi, or you're going to various places, and you're ending up, logging into an airport Wi-Fi, like a train station Wi-Fi, that type of stuff. Your data can be up for grabs. You're in a coffee shop, your data can be up for grabs, banking details, passwords, all that stuff. And so it is good to turn on the threat protection that NordVPN has, just to make yourself more secure than the guy next to you. But then also when you're traveling, you're watching various TV shows. Sometimes those TV shows on whichever platform you might be watching it aren't necessarily available where you might be. You might, log into your Hulu, you might log into your Netflix, and the show you might be watching all of a sudden isn't available in the country that you might be in. So then you can move yourself back to where you came from and make it a whole lot easier on yourself to enjoy while you're going to sleep, or, taking a little bit of time off. So plenty of reasons to have one. You can also share it up to 10 different devices in the family. So you can just have one account, share it with your friends, share it with your family, and then you can be able to all enjoy it together. No buffering, no lagging or anything like that either. Plenty of reasons to have one, everybody. So do take a look at it at the top of the chat. Your final opportunity for this season. And now we're getting into it. I'm just going to...
Where do you get so many perks for just the price of a cup of coffee a month, guys? I mean, honestly, Jack's rattled off about 15 perks there. Guys, value for money. Make sure you get it. You need it in your back pocket this summer. We all like traveling. We're all going to be going around the place celebrating. Make sure you got your VPN in your back pocket so you don't miss out. It help you. You can keep up to date with absolutely
cheaper,
everything you need to.
Save a bit of money on flights, save a bit of money on when you're actually watching these Premier League games. I know, especially for you guys in the UK or in that region, you guys are really overpaying sometimes for what you're getting, and plenty of times you're not even
Especially in
able to
Ireland.
watch every single game. So it's good to have, the VPN so that you can get yourself onto a cheaper streaming service, save yourself a bit of money. And then also too, when you're on YouTube, if you even switch yourself to a different country, you can actually get longer highlight packages
Yep.
of those games for Spurs than you would necessarily in the UK. Whenever I've traveled to the UK, I don't know why it is, but for some reason, a lot of the games, are like 2-minute, 3-minute highlights. For some reason, with the Yanks, we get like 15, 20-minute highlight packages of these games, which I think just gives yourself, if you do end up missing a Premier League game or a Spurs game or just any game you might have been interested in, you get yourself more of a, cohesive, comprehensive package, of what you might have missed. So I think that's always another good reason to have one. But we're about to get kicked off here
Right, you're
in
making
the
a few
second half.
changes.
Matoma is coming on. We know how dangerous he is, even a player that we potentially would like to have at Spurs, actually. We know how dynamic this guy is. And then Gomez is coming on. I think he's a real workhorse, this guy, for this Brighton team, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not too sure who it is, but Odebear, I'm seeing from behind the lino there.
I wonder, is it Solanke? Or is it... Yeah, it could be Solanke, because when he walked out of the tunnel, he looked up and it looked like it was hurting, which means potentially, he's been feeling that through halfway. Let's see, is it? Is it someone like Dom Slanky or is it not?
Yeah, I think Tom Slanky just left
Yeah,
that huddle, Dave.
yeah.
You're
Because
absolutely
what I was
spot on.
about to say, when he walked out of the tunnel,
Wasn't looking
the
too hot.
light, he started squinting and you could see it was hurting. And I think then they seen that and made the decision. I think he's still feeling the effects of what he picked up just before halftime because I could see it as soon as he walked out. Oh, no, he's still on. Is he? He's still on?
No. He looks like he's walking off.
No?
Uh,
No, he's still on.
who's he coming on for then? Maybe not Tell. Would have been Johnson? No. Or have we switched to a two-man midfield? I think we might have switched to a two-man midfield, so Pop Matasar's come off. So we're gone for that 4-2-4 like we saw against Aston Villa. This was actually the shape that I thought we were going to go with against Brighton today. And this was close to actually then the team that I would have predicted. I think I went for like a 4-2-4. I think I went with Gray, and I think I went with Bentancur, actually. I think I went with Gray and Bentancur in midfield, and then I went with, I think, Tell and Odebear up top. But instead, we're getting Tell on the left, Odebear up top.
It's already working a treat. Because what we're doing is actually, with the four across the middle, we're actually blocking off the passes into the midfield. You know, you look at them now, we're trying to basically make them go along. They're trying not to. You know, it's just going to be, I think this could work out in a favor and go and get the second and kill them off.
We can also have Odebear maybe drop deep, to pick the ball up if need be.
Oh, good defending. Well done, Johnson. Good touch there. Well done, Porro. Come on, ref. Well bought there from Porro.
Very well bought. Very well
one.
bought. Just threw his body into him there.
That's 50 quid into the referee's pocket. Come on, you Spurs.
Fell down so easily there, Boro.
Brilliantly bought from Porro there. Expert. That's if Vicario, keep yelling at them. Mr. Victorious. Win that. Oh, Danzo gets caught out there. Oh, he gets away with it. Lucky. Lucky Danzo. You go and win it. You go and compete for that. You got to go and win it. Afternoon, Ed Case. Great to see you, my man. Hopefully you're keeping well, my fellow European champion. Mr. Edwardson also popped in to say hi. Good to see you. Skunk Works. Great to see you, sir. Surf South is in there as well. Or Surf Australia, whatever it's called. Surf South. Oh, well done, Danzo, again.
I told him I caused him problems.
That's it, Tottenham. Force it back here. Let's go. Oh, well read.
Lovely from you,
brilliant.
Dogie.
Go on, Doggy. Keep going. Keep going. Sir! Ref. We'll have a yellow, please, as well. Oh, my Lord. He hardly thinks the Doggie's just going to give up that ball for no reason, does he? Is that ref fucking dumb? What an idiot.
Archie Gray does well there to track back, help him out. Surely there must have been a foul there.
How to be?
Deal with
I don't
it.
understand how he hasn't given that. Oh, brilliant from Johnson.
That's always sketchy. That's always sketchy, but very well done by Johnson. Especially for a guy that knows how to score goals. You're worried he would score on his own net there.
All of a sudden, he's got this calm persona about him. Most wingers in that situation wouldn't even have the nous to head that back to the goalkeeper there. Oh, brilliant from Johnson again. Free kick to Tottenham anyway.
Wemberley 1 saying, afternoon, boys. I am wondering and hoping if Wednesday's victory might just lead to a whole new competitive mindset for the squad. It's one of the questions Dave and I have actually been asking before we even won the final. Like, could this trigger a big culture shift, towards more of a winning mentality, towards more of that gritty mindset, that we can get over the line, that we can perform in the big games, we can muck in for each other, develop that winning culture now that we finally have gotten that trophy off our back. 100%.
I also think what you're going to see is a lot of these players who maybe didn't have that love for the club, now that they've won something with the club, we've given them the best days of a lot of their careers. A day that they might never ever get again. You're going to see a lot of these guys now front up for Tottenham in the tough moments, go through the pain barrier to try and come out the other end. Now that they've got that taste for winning, I think they'll understand that sacrifice is a massive part of it. And I think what you're going to see, even in terms of the media, more standing up to referees now, they're going to bat for this club, which is something that me and Jack have pointed out this season that we've been angry at to a large degree. In fairness, Postecoglou has done a great job of it in the press and all, but even look at like some Madison's interview and people like that after, Madison digging out the pundits, put some respect on our names and stuff. And I think you're going to see a lot more of that going forward now, because at the end of the day, they're going to love this club and respect it now. Look at the adulation they received after winning it. Look at the prayer. We've given them the best days of their life. We've also helped them achieve a European trophy. So I think it's going to work wonders for us on many fronts. Now, of course, the club have to double down with it and bring in a good summer transfer window. Do that. Anything's possible moving forward. And I keep saying this. It all comes down to signing the right players.
Good tracking back from Johnson there.
Johnson again, lovely.
Oh, no. It bounced, and then it got into Hinchelwood.
Fuck's sake.
Took an unlucky bounce there. It just landed right at the top of his feet. I think it got sort of in front of Dom Solanke. Dom Solanke couldn't really clear it, and then it just took a ricochet bounce to Hinchelwood.
Such a soft goal.
It's just not really, it's not a good goal at all, really. It's just unlucky bounce.
Right, come on, let's rally again. Bucket hat back on. Let's go. Oh, who pulled out there? Dominic Solanke.
Dominic Solanke. Mickey van de Ven. No, Mickey van de Ven pulled out, Dave.
Both of them did. Dom Solanke went for it and stopped the swallow. I don't blame him. He's carrying that head knock.
Well, it's Mickey van de Ven's men, is I guess what I'm saying. Yeah, it's Mickey, and then it bounces off Solanke, so it's
handball
unlucky.
There, though? Was there a handball in there? Let's have another look at this. No. Fucking anyway.
Just landed at his feet.
How lucky. Nothing Vicario could do either.
It's just landed perfectly at Hinchelwood's feet. Perfectly.
He's had a good campaign for them this year. Oh, that's a bummer. Fuck's sake. Come on, let's go again.
Yeah, it just took a very, very fortunate bounce for Brighton there. Poor from Solanke. Well done, Bentancur. Handball there.
It's unbelievable from Bentancur.
Great turnover again.
Come on, Spurs. Let's go again. One of yous, please, one of yous.
Well done, Udogie. So heavy, so heavy.
Come on, Udogie.
So heavy.
Such a heavy touch, man. Oh, Brighton are in again. Oh, he's took the wrong pass.
They played through us there. They really played through us there. Some nice football from Brighton.
Whoever that guy was to pass the back, he should have played the runner.
Really nice passing from them here, though.
Right there, he should have played the other runner.
Yeah. Yeah, he sort of rushes the shot here, the Brighton player. Got away with that one. I would say that was one they probably deserved to maybe put away Brighton, whereas the other one was a bit lucky.
Let's go, Porro. What can we pick out?
It takes a deflection.
That'll do. Just get up into their half.
We did have that breakaway earlier. Just Udogie just had the touch of a truck.
Yeah.
We did have a breakaway there. We played through them, actually.
Oh, of course. They want to show this goal about 50 fucking times now. Porro probably caught wrong side of Hinchelwood there as well. Oh, don't let them run through you like this. Come on, Tottenham. They need to look at getting Dominic Solanke off. I don't think he's fit for this half. And the big difference is he's not up there holding up the ball now.
Yeah. They get him behind
That's
Poro
quality
here.
behind Poro.
Hinchelwood and Matoma have been causing us problems.
Well done. Who's that? Doggy back post defending.
Hinchelwood and Matoma, the players really causing us issues. Down Poro's side. 6 corners for Brighton.
Derek Johnson says same old rubbish. Surf Oss says wake up Spurs. Definitely could do it waking up after coming out this half. Oh, it's a header.
Another set piece.
Come on, Spurs. Let's get the ball down and start playing now. They're obviously buoyed by the chance of maybe going into Europe. They're rallying Brighton. Johnson on to Poro. Cross to Danzo. He moves it on to Mickey van der Ven. Plays a doggy. Looks for a 1-2 with Tal. Oh, great turn by Matisse Tal. It's fucking brilliant, kid. Carries it. Oh, that's brilliant, kid. Pulls it back. Johnson!
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, was it Archie Gray?
Great. No, I think it was Johnson.
Oh, he's missed a sitter.
Oh, Johnson.
He usually buries those.
Didn't let us ole.
No, I was about to go mad. He usually buries the what? Play by Matisse Tal.
Yeah. See you later. This touch was great. And he squares it perfectly to John. Oh, my God. He's got to bury that. Oh, we've had 2 absolute sitters today.
He's got to score that, Johnson.
We have 3 guaranteed goals. The penalty, Tell's moment, and then Johnson's there. That's 3 goals. 3 goals. Should have all been buried. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. I think this game killed off by now.
Yeah, we could have been 2-0 up, and then that would have been 3.
Playing it in behind again.
Oh, no, Minta. What a block from Danzo. What defending there. Great defending from Danzo.
Ball watching there.
Huge clearance, too. Brighton they're breaking through us a lot easier, Brighton.
He owes Danzo a point tonight. Keeps going like this for the needs 5-10 minutes. He needs to get legs on and freshen it up. Poro taking the card there for the team.
Yeah.
It's looking like the drink is starting to catch up on them a little bit now, Jacko.
The buzz only lasts so long.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. 2 lazy swipes there from Johnson and Poro. They don't want the fresh legs of Matoma.
He's an annoying, tricky player, Matoma. He's not someone you want to face against in the second half in these circumstances.
I think about getting Poro off now. I'm getting Spence on. Poro on a yellow card up against Matoma is not good. See if we can deal with this set piece. It's going to be an outswinger here from Brighton. Everyone's got to hold the line here now from a Tottenham point of view. Oh, well done.
Danzo, good foul.
It's fucking
well done, Danzo. Great defending from him in the second half.
Great strength. What an animal. What a man.
He's making a lot of changes, Fabian Özler.
I think he's trying to capitalize on the momentum here.
Taking off a center back for basically another defender, but Veltman maybe is a bit more versatile than Igor.
Better on the ball as well, I'd argue. Come on, Spurs. Get this on Dom Solanke's head. Score, big dummy.
Gets onto it. Spurs, though, can't hold on to it.
There we go. Recycle it now. Just give it. Well done. What an effort from Danzo to get across there and be coming
Yeah,
up.
seriously. Oh,
No, he's
no.
Ronaldinho.
Too heavy there, the touch.
Oh, no. Oh,
Oh, Udogie got to put a foot in there.
that is a poor ball from Matoma.
Clear.
Well done, Gray. Get back there, kid. Go on, Johnson. Don't allow it in. Well done, Gray. Good positioning. It's cleared. Come on, let's try and get some pressure on the ball here, Spurs. Gone counter-attack in this half. Could do with a couple of changes here. Get some fresh legs on from a Tottenham perspective. The hangovers are relling through the kicking in now. You can see it with every minute passing. You watch when the ball goes dead, you start seeing them with hands on the knees now in a few minutes. Johnson out there to protect Porro. Well done. Brighton with a good spell of possession here around Tottenham's edge of Tottenham's area. Matisse Tau tries to disrupt it, can't do it. Brighton are playing some good football here. Don't let him do that. See, that's 3 players, guys.
Jeez, can we get a foot onto it, please? Oh, my Lord. How many Oh, my God.
No,
how many
Jesus
touches
Christ,
did
what a
they get
save
in the
from
penalty
Cario.
area, boys? How many touches?
That's shocking.
Come on, boys.
Come on, let's get some subs on Ange.
Someone's got to be able to put in a real challenge there.
Ange needs to make some subs now. We need fresh legs. It's so obvious.
Bentancur's got to do better there.
They're all tired now. The midfield, the forward line. Need to get some changes on so we can go back and press them. It's where we were getting our joy, sitting back and playing counter-attack, and it's not working. Starting to just dance to us with ease now. Or with ease now. Oh, good clearance. Oh,
no.
Off the
And
post.
Baliba, I'm telling you, that guy, Baliba can strike them. He knows how to hit those.
It's coming. Come on,
He's
get
a hell
some
of a
subs
player.
on. Get some subs on.
Brighton are in the ascendancy here. You also still have to look at the chances, though, that Spurs have missed. Spurs have had 3 chances. 2 that they should have put away. We should have 3 goals, but now Brighton have looked like they're probably going to go on and potentially grab the second here, more likely than us.
Starting to find good gaps now in between the midfield and stuff. They're tired in there. We need to get more subs in. Brian are just knocking around comfortably around the edge of our box. It's becoming dangerous now. Brighton attacking Tottenham's left-hand side.
God, this Minta guy is just destroying us.
Jesus Christ.
Minta and Matoma are just destroying us.
He's having a field day out there down that left-hand side.
He's just beating us for pace every time, Minta.
Come on, Spurs. Let's make up now. Please don't give Baliba another chance.
Yeah, he's at the top of the penalty area. It's scary.
Oh, no, it's bouncing around again. It's
oh,
another
my
one.
Lord. Another set piece. Come on, lads.
For fuck's sake.
Hinchelwood again.
Fucking
God
hell,
damn,
Tottenham.
boys. We saw it coming, though. We knew it was coming. But the fact it's 2 set pieces. Come on, lads.
I wonder, is there an offside here? I just wonder, was the guy coming from offside?
You just rue those chances, though. Like, again, like Johnson, and you just wonder if the pace of the game, the tempo of the game, just you put away those chances, man.
It's just
Johnson and Tell.
Again.
He's on. Archie
Fucking
Gray keeps him on. I don't know why Archie Gray's throwing his hands up.
Why is he even gone to mark him there? He's got to push up with the defensive line.
Yeah, but Archie Gray's kind of doing that thing that Ben Davis does. He's throwing his arms up, but that was his man. Oh, it's just another unlucky bounce as well.
He was off
Just
Dan.
goes right to Hinchelwood. It's another bounce that just goes right to Hinchelwood. It's a great finish.
Oh, Tottenham Hotspur. Come on, man.
I don't like, though, that Archie Gray, since he's been playing with Ben Davis, he does that thing where he throws his arms up in the air. It's like, dude, I mean, that guy was right next to you. Like, that's yours to
Yeah.
mark. And also, if you had just played him offside there, could have done two things there. Speak of the devil.
It's too late to make subs now.
Yeah, far too
It
late.
should have been made before the fucking goal. We could see it was coming, man. Jesus Christ. Now we make subs. Why now? Oh, let's wait till we concede and then we'll make a sub. No, you could see it was coming. Make it beforehand. Come on. Ben Davies potentially coming on for his last ever Tottenham game.
You wonder, yeah.
Richarlison on for Dom Solanke. I mean, that one should have happened at half time. And who's Basuma come on for? Bentancur. Just does himself no favours, Postecoglou. Just make subs before the goal. Danzo.
Hansa. Jeez, man, that was a little heavy. Oh, yes.
Oh, go on, Rich. Go on, Rich. Oh. JH, something needs to be done defending corners. Absolutely spot on, man. It's shocking. Paul McWilliams, I know. We're still champions of Europe. I know that. I know. I'm just disappointed is all.
I think we're just looking at analyzing just the goals there. I don't think we're really that upset about it. Just analyzing what's gone wrong.
I'm just
Just
disappointed.
giving you guys the commentary about how it could have been avoided, I guess. Also, I just don't like to see when players sort of are throwing their arms up at other guys. When they, it's a good ball and behind by Brighton, catching Davies out.
For me, it's the subs. You could see it was coming. You could see the players were bollocks tired. Make the subs, man.
Minta and Matoma have just been
Unbelievable.
devastating down the wings against us.
Oh, please do not let this long-nosed idiot score again, please.
He's on a fucking hat trick from corners and bounces of the ball. Oh, my Lord!
Jesus Christ.
Boys!
What is going on back there from set
Can
pieces?
someone just clear something?
Holy shit.
It's not like they're that much bigger than us either. How are they doing this against us? It's not like they're that much bigger of a team. Solanke's the one who clears it. Oh, no, it's from the Baliba chance. Oh, to Johnson here. Out for a corner.
Come on, let's go and get one of our own.
Yeah, let's score our own set piece, please.
Danzo, Van de Ven. Let's go. With the state he was in on Friday, I'm surprised his last 68 minutes, Johnson. Come on, Spurs. Davies, goodbye goal.
Oh, Basuma.
Lord, what is that?
Oh, lucky there. Lucky we have a head injury.
What was that from Basuma? Fucking hell. Got caught in two minds there. Didn't know where to shoot or try and lay it off. Whoever that was shouting there, he's got a dodgy haircut. Come on, ref. Can't be wasting European champions' times. Let's go. Well, this guy's going to stay down for as long as he can now. It's Premier League table looking like. Maybe we just didn't want our London rivals Brentford getting European football, maybe. They're losing now anyway, are they?
Chelsea 1-0 up against Forest. Forest have really bottled it.
As it stands, then Newcastle will miss out on Champions League, Aston Villa and Forest. And we're all the way back down to humbling 17th. Everton have beaten Newcastle. Fucking hell. Moyes has done some job there. Please score. Right, ref, can we get on with it? It's gone on for 5 minutes too long now. Whoever cut his hair as well, that barber's shocking. Look at the referee's hair. Look at it from the back.
Yeah, it's a real,
shocking.
Yeah.
Real dodgy one, that one. They're going to get Lewis Dunk on, are they? Win that. Well done. Get out. Fuck it anyway. Well done, Richie. Come on now, ref. Michael W. says on today's show is why I'm still hands out.
I think what everyone's sort of taking home with is like perhaps this could have been avoided with substitutions, being made a lot earlier. And that's something we've said a few times with Ange, just doesn't seem to maybe act proactively enough. He's trying to change the trend of the game, reading the game. Yeah. Sorry, Dave. Yeah, cut across. But yeah.
Come on, let's go get an equaliser here. Let's rally Spurs. Odegaard's barely touched the ball since he's come on. All right, let's calm it down. Let's build something here now. Davies, good ball out to Udogie. All that luscious space.
Udogie plays it too late.
He's been atrocious today, Destiny Udogie. He's been absolutely atrocious on the ball. Shocking.
Just sometimes plays it too late. They're getting in behind Porro again. Oh,
good defending. Who's that then, Davies?
Matoma's just absolutely destroying us with that high line.
Oh.
Yeah, the line isn't really perfect either.
Paul McWilliams says, how would the subs have stopped those goals from corners? No, I think, look.
It's more the other chance. They had other chances that they didn't put away, which we were lucky with. Don't get me wrong. The 2 goals they scored actually were, in a way, very, very lucky bounces of the ball that kind of, got to their way. But I would say that there were other chances they should have buried.
The reason why I say about the subs, though, is because the ball was just coming one way. The midfield was tired. The reason why we played well in the first half is because the midfield were at it. The midfield was bollocks in there. The forward line, Dom Solanke wasn't right coming out after half-time and stuff like that. You could see it. So the whole idea of making the changes, get fresh legs in there to try and put more pressure on the ball again, rather than just sit back, let it come, then make the change, and then go and try and put more pressure on the ball like we're trying to do here. You do that before they score.
They would, and they kept racking up corners, so eventually they could have scored from one. The more corners they just kept getting. They were racking them up. So they were gonna score some way, somehow. if we had a bit more control of possession, a bit more control of the game, perhaps some of these corners wouldn't have even happened.
Oh, that's a great ball.
Aye.
Brighton making more subs now.
He's getting the most of his subs today, Ertzler.
I think that's it from them now, isn't it? You're only allowed to make 3
Surely,
different
yeah.
subs.
That must be his last one.
Is this one of the guys they brought on that's coming off? No?
No, he started the game.
Yeah, you're right there, Paul. Removing Sarr has opened us up. I wonder, was that an injury?
We only have so many
not an injury,
midfielders, too,
Turner.
We only have so many midfielders. It's not easy for Ange in that regard. He has depth up front. He decided to maybe push on for... I think he decided to push on for the second goal, the third goal, by adding on an extra forward. He doesn't have much depth in the midfield. We did get that chance with Brennan Johnson. Could have made the game very different had he put that away. Tell should have made it 2-0. We should have been 2-0 up at halftime. So the game could have been very different. But it's been all Brighton the second half. Since basically Johnson missed that chance, it's been all Brighton.
It'd be nice for some of our forward players to touch the ball.
Yeah. I don't think it even was a gamble by Ange. I think that was the only option he really had, was to bring on more forwards. That was
That's where the bet is right now.
Yeah. That's his only choice. It just hasn't worked out. But yeah, certain players maybe he could have thought about just taking off sooner. Ay.
Oh, come on, Spurs. Let's get after it. Let's get an equaliser. Let's get the party going. Brian just going to play a keep ball here now. Oh, it's a good ball.
Well done, Poro. Sir!
Yeah, but, at least give Richarlison a fucking chance.
Yeah, he has no chance.
Just took it 10, 15 yards into him rather than ballooning it straight back to the goalkeeper. We're losing 2-1. We want to try and keep the fucking ball.
Lovely ball from Poro. Sir!
You got no option, Richie. You're going to have to try and win a free kick or something here. Well done.
Fuck off, Brighton.
Well done, Richie.
Odebear got clattered. That was a great ball from Poro out to Odebear.
Oh, come on. Let's get on with the game, for fuck's sake.
Well done, Tal. So many giveaways in areas like here.
Oh, don't give away a stupid free kick either.
Well done, Ben Davis.
No way. No
That
way.
looked clean, actually.
He's won the ball.
It looked like he won the ball there.
That's fucking soft, man.
You look like you won the ball there. Let's see. I don't know. It looked like you won the ball. Jed Spence getting warmed up, ready to come on. You wonder for who? Poro, perhaps? It's hard to say. Minta and Matoma have all caused us both problems. You know, it's both sides are just getting run through. I don't even know which ones you would take off between Udogi or Poro. Maybe you take off Udogi. He's not really been all that great in the second half. Poro, we all know, has that bit of creativity.
Oh, come on. Let's try and salvage this.
Oh, no,
Good
jeez. It's
defending.
nervy.
Corner kick to Brighton. Paul, in fairness, I don't usually eat on the watch-alongs. Just today I was having a bit of a party. I do apologise. Actually, no, I'm not apologising. I'm a European champion. I deserve to eat. Do not let this fucker get a hat-trick. Oh, this ref, man. Oh,
Jeez.
no.
Jeez, I mean, not been confident at all from set pieces today.
No, we've been useless. Big up, Steve D. Good to see you. He says he's still loving life. He says half of them aren't even able to drive yet with, they're still over the limit. I agree with that for sure. Just be nice to be able to, get a result and end the season off with my man. Porro.
Good weight.
Go on, Johnson.
I just didn't have the pace there, Johnson. Didn't have the pace.
Oh,
Good weight of the pass there from Poro.
yeah, it was. Only 8 minutes to go. Spence coming on. Who's he coming on for?
Tell.
Matisse Tell. Interesting.
Probably going to left wing.
I wonder will Johnson go left wing, move Porro up right wing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Tell started to fade a little bit.
Could be his last game.
Yeah, very well could be.
Tottenham throw in. Back to Danzo. Danzo, too risky.
Well done.
Oh, now we're just going to watch them pass it around for another 4 or 5 fucking minutes. Brighton creating passing opportunities here. Tottenham really not getting too much pressure on the ball here. Oh, for fuck's sake. Even when we read something, we can't intercept it. Come on. He's been atrocious today, Destiny Udogie.
Yeah, he's playing the left wing, Jet Spence.
Interesting. Forced him long. Let's try and turn this over and create attack. Porro, good ball around the corner. Let's go. Bissouma. Bissouma.
It's just not on. It's just not on.
Jesus Christ. Talk about forcing it.
Just a lot of giveaways. Spurs, anytime we have been able, we've been struggling to get our foot on the ball, but when we have, easy giveaways.
In the game, we struggled to put it to bed like so many times this season. Massive chances from Matisse Tell and Brennan Johnson. You put that game to bed, we're not even in this situation. That's the most frustrating thing about it. Brighton opening us up here again.
Talking about one-on-one with
Danzo. He forgets the ball. Thank God for that. But we still let him just get it again.
Yeah, they're just, no one's closing it down. Come on, lads. Out wide to Minta. This is sketchy.
He skins him too easy. Time. Let's try and work it. Jet Spence, get on the move. Right, let's go, Spence. Come on, Spence. Let's go, Jedi. Let's have your moment.
Lovely Good touch.
Udogie
again, man.
Holy
Come on, lad.
Shit, kid.
How many times has he given it away, Udogie?
Jesus Christ. It's unbearable to watch when he does that. It's such a simple ball.
Oh, no.
We've done all the good
penalty
work.
From Bissouma. It's just a comedy of errors.
We've done all the good work to get it up there, and Udogie does fucking that.
Comedy of errors from Spurs. Udogie Bissouma.
Oh, my Lord.
Something we've seen before this season. Bissouma doesn't
really
seem to be making much of a protest.
Sometime. Really are. That's just Bissouma's caught ball watching there. It's just lazy. He's been shit since he's come on as well. The amount of ball he's given away. He panics there.
It's straight Stonewall pen.
Yeah. Stonewall pen up. Comedy of errors there, like you said, Jacko. But it all starts with Udogie. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. It's like, how many times has he given it away down that left side?
Shocking. Matt O'Reilly, former Postecoglou player, up against Vicario. They will cement him going to Europe if he buries this.
Oh, nearly saved, though, by Vic.
Goes the right way, but can't make the save, and that's Brighton now into Europe. That's game done and dusted. Comedy of fucking errors. Destiny
Just
Udogie.
One half, all Spurs in the first half, all Brighton in the second. Spurs did have the chance to go ahead with Brennan Johnson's chance. We also had Matisse Tell's chance, but apart from that, it's been mostly Brighton in the second half. They've been all over us. They've tore us a new one in the second half.
Well, this is why you got to take your opportunities when you're on top of the game. Tell should have been 2 up. Johnson should have scored his. You know, we just don't take our chances. And then, look, the hangovers were always going to kick in. But again, substitutions too late. You wait for them to score and then you make them. I mean, you just got to sense it coming sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to make them earlier.
I just think with the chances, though, like the reason we keep bringing them up is like these are very like I wonder where they even stood on the XG. I wonder if they even like they were very like chances you should be burying almost 9 times out of 10. Really tells you bury 9 times out of 10. Johnson's he's buried 9 times out of 10 this year. So it's just if you don't bury those, you do hurt yourself.
You kill the game. You kill their belief. It's that simple.
Yeah. And then, like you say, you know, with the fact that we are going to be a bit hungover, we are going to be a little bit lethargic, you know, going into this. You put those chances away. You just make life so much easier on yourself, and you kill the belief for Brighton. It's just you need to do your job in the forward area. Just need to. Just couldn't do our job in the forward area today. Richarlison, such a heavy touch.
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
Still won't fall our way. Just blow it up now. We're at 90 minutes. No one wants extra
Yeah,
time.
we got a lap of honor to be doing, boys.
Yeah, lap of honor. Thank you. Oh,
Turn
I
it.
thought you was blowing
Blow
up
it,
there.
ref. I've seen enough.
Oh, well done, Spence. Oh, lucky. 6 minutes. Are they taking the piss? Seriously? Where are they getting 6 from? Gray. Porro.
Oh, jeez.
Only 4.5 minutes left. Shawnee Malik saying the crowd still doesn't care. They're celebrating.
It sounded like, I could be wrong, but it sounded like they were doing that version of the cheer. We got the ball. We lost the ball.
Jesus
We
Christ.
lost the ball. It sounded like they were doing a version of that. I couldn't tell, though. Let me know if someone heard it a bit clearer.
Ridiculous.
It's one of the best chants ever. We've got the ball. We've lost the ball. We've lost the ball. We've got the ball. Now we're just putting in a little petulant challenges, you can tell. It's just, again, that's I say, I think we all knew we were going to look a little lethargic. We just need to put away those opportunities. Oh, my Lord, it's a worldie. It's a worldie from Gomez.
Fuck me, 4-1.
Yeah, he
Jeez.
wasn't being closed down, to be fair. They just gave him all the space in the world to do that. But what a hit. 4-1 now. It's not a great taste in your mouth. Second half, just all Brighton. They've absolutely walloped us in the second half.
Yeah.
Hell of a fucking goal, though. But you give a guy that much space in the Premier League, he could pull off something like that. I mean, they've just railroaded us the second half, Brighton. They've railroaded us.
Yeah, they've absolutely walloped us. Oh, that's hard.
Johnson sort of overcommits here. No one really wants to step out.
What a crappy way to end off the campaign.
Jeez. Hell of a fucking finish. Side netting. Oy.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, my Lord, it's getting worse. Just blow it up, ref. Please do us a favour. A lot of Tottenham fans in the stadium are still in the party mood, party atmosphere.
They should be. It's not great to watch, but they should be. I don't know. I don't need to. I'll just keep repeating the same point. I just think in a game like this, what we weren't really expecting a whole lot in a game like this. I just think you got to bury those chances that you get because then you could potentially win the game.
Oh, well done.
Find Johnson. Oh, it was
Oh,
behind him though. It was behind him. Pass was behind him.
oh, such a heavy touch anyway. Sure, it wouldn't have made a difference anyway.
Jerome, man, good to see you. Thanks for the generous support also last time,
You're
brother.
up,
Hopefully
Jerome.
you're still enjoying the mood, though. Hopefully you're still in happy clapper mode. But he's saying, did we really have to even play today? That is embarrassing, man. Listen, I'll
Yeah.
just say it one more time. I'm going to repeat myself too many times, but I didn't expect much from today, Jerome. Really didn't. Maybe we could have carried on the good momentum, to get a win. I think we had two excellent chances, to go 2-0 up at halftime, 2-0 up at halftime. Perhaps you kill a bit of the momentum for Brighton to get back into the game. And then we had that chance from Johnson, which could have made it, I think, 3-1 or something like that, some version of that. I think maybe we do actually get something from this game then if that happens. And
Yeah,
we
well,
just didn't. And if you don't put away those chances, these guys, they're not really in the mood to like defend a 1-0 lead. Like they had to do that against Man United. I didn't expect them to do that today. So I think it's on the forwards at the end of the day tonight, Jerome. It's on the forwards.
oh, that's game over. Thank fuck for that. That was becoming painful there the last 20 odd minutes, 30 minutes.
We
Oh,
got
look.
absolutely railroaded in the second half, Jerome.
That was a very hard watch in the second half. Got railroaded. It's clear they tried to go and win it in the first half. We didn't take our chances to kill the game off. And this is what happens. But look, this happened to us a lot this season. You know, even last season, you don't take your chances. This is why the quality of the squad still isn't good enough moving forward. I think Ange also today made the subs at the wrong time, waited till we went 2-1 down, and then brought them on. Could have made them 5 minutes or so before that when you could see the game was coming one way. Maybe you prevent that second goal, and maybe you end up preventing the onslaught. So not good from him. And I think it opens him up now to, again, the Ange in, Ange out debate. I think the fact that he's left these subs, because to me, allowing it to go on that long, that killed the game today, Jack. The midfield was off it. Second half, they were bollocks tired. The forward line, Dom Solanke wasn't right when he walked out at half time. Left it way too late. Wait till the game was beyond us and then made the substitutions, which, it's something that many people have aimed at him. And I think it keeps the debate alive. I think it keeps it going, to be quite frank with you. Over the summer, look where I'm at. Like I said, I'm a European champion. I've won the Europa League. I've told people once I get back from my holiday with my dad, then I'll sit here and start talking about Tottenham's problems and what we need to do next season. But right now, I'm in the moment and I'm enjoying life. Shoot me if that's a crime. I don't care. I've waited 33 years for this and I'm going to enjoy my moment while it's
Yeah.
here. But once I'm back from my holidays with my dad is when normal business will resume and I'll start having these conversations and dealing with these conversations properly. But look, to be honest with you, I sort of expected something like this today anyway. Seeing the state the players were in Friday and stuff like that. They were drinking, 2, 3, 4 days on the trot.
Yeah.
I was sort of expecting, to be honest, the first half was much better than what I thought, but I was sort of expecting it to a large degree anyway. It doesn't make it doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it any easier to stomach or sit here and watch and stuff like that. But look, right now, we're European champions, and that's what I'm going to focus on for the next few weeks. Let me celebrate, and then normal service will resume.
Yeah, I think we're just even by our own reactions. I think it's more a tone of just analyzing what went wrong, in the moment. But I don't think in any way it's really killing off the mood or killing any sort of the party sort of feeling right now. And also just the relief of getting finally that trophy off of our back. That trophy hunt. It feels incredible to be Europa winners. I don't think it's in any way going to detract from that. I just think since we are watching the game together, we're going to give our analysis of what went wrong, in the game and how it could have been different and, what things could have been changed, how it could have been avoided, those sort of conversations. But you can even hear by, I think, the tones of our voice. It's not really like a situation where we're really that, demoralized or anything by it. It's not going to really, change our, it's not going to spoil my Sunday. It's not going to spoil my weekend by any means. So
I mean, we already lost 21 before this. What's another one? You know what I mean? Fucking hell.
Exactly right. So it's what we do. We analyze what went wrong. We analyze what happened, but it's not really going to go that much deeper than that, really, at the end of the day. Dave's right, though. Maybe in a week or two time when we're kind of analyzing, the summer window, what plans need to be made in order to try to have, more of a stronger output, in every single competition, from
Yeah.
the domestic league to the cups, as well as also the Champions League, which we all know is a completely different beast, to the likes of the Europa League. We will be having some serious conversations about all that.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, for another time. I think we're going to try to enjoy this lap of honor, a bit more of this trophy celebration, and then we'll get to more of the serious stuff, another
Yeah.
time. Thanks to everybody, though, for once again being here with us. I'm just kind of waiting through this commercial break, to potentially see, hopefully, the lap of honor and see the
Yeah.
opportunity to, get, see the fans. The fans put up a brilliant atmosphere. Once again, fair play by the club, the people behind the scenes. I love the flags and, the tifos and the
Mm.
celebrations that they've been putting in recently. I think they've been doing an excellent job. I'm just looking forward to seeing, the final glimpses of Spurs here. I'm not sure if we're gonna get it though. It's saying
No, it
like
doesn't look
coverage
like they're
has
going to film
concluded.
it. Let me see if it's on the Spurs YouTube channel.
Yeah, that'd be nice. If that's the case, though,
I presume
I
it
mean,
would
Dave
be.
and I don't know what else we really have to say at the end of the day. Like I said, it's just not really a game to overanalyze. We'll analyze what happened in the moment in time. We'll analyze, how the game went, but we're not going to make any grandiose conclusions like we might often do from these games, especially like Dave said, last game of the
Yeah.
season, a bit of a nothing burger once again. We all knew that these guys were going to come into it a bit lethargic, a bit hungover. They put in a great first half performance. If Tell put away that chance, I think we would have given ourselves that leg, to
Mm.
potentially stand on, in the second half. But Brighton had something to play for. They did have, they wanted to confirm that they could get Europe, right? Since they were in the ascendancy for it. So they were always going to come out in the second half and cause us problems. And Fabian
Mm.
Ertzler, in a way, has done it once again. Like I think he did that in the away leg, Dave. Like, didn't we kind of come out on top, destroyed them in the first half? He made a lot of substitutions, made a lot of tactical
Yeah.
changes, and then figured it out. And fair play to him. He's done it once again. And, you could say, I don't know. It's not even one to really say, like, could Ancha maybe try to avoid that again? I don't really know if he could have, because the only substitution I can really think of that he needed to make was potentially taking Solanke off a bit sooner and maybe another player or two.
Mm.
But he doesn't necessarily, again, have a ton of options. Like, he doesn't have Madison, doesn't have Bergfall, doesn't have Kulusevski, doesn't really have guys that can put their foot on the ball and, like, actually sort of control the game, a bit more. Tell started to fade. Odebear came on, which probably was the right choice, but once again, kind of was a bit anonymous for the most part, really. And
Mm.
I don't know. It's just like I think we just need to take some of those chances. Had we done that, maybe this could have ended like 3-3, 3-2, for Spurs. But the fact that we didn't, I think it was very obvious that Brighton were going to be a much better team in the second half. And like I said earlier, Fabian Ertzler did it again. He made very, very quick changes, to adjust and got the better of us. Yeah.
Yeah, but look, it leans more out to the Angel argument. Look, I've got the Spurs thing, will lap of honor appreciation. They're
Is
calling
it
it.
on
Will be on
YouTube?
the Tottenham Hotspur YouTube channel. So it's starting shortly. But I'm looking at the comments now, and it's just Ange out the whole way down. It's been like that for 2-3 minutes straight, which is very, very interesting. Look, like I said, I think the fact that you've highlighted it there, the fact that we were in the ascendancy twice against Brighton and dropped the league twice against Brighton, against someone like Fabian Hertzler, who was practically unheard of before he joined Brighton, again leads more credence to the Ange out argument or the Ange out debate, that tactically he's been inept. And at the end of the day, I understand the injuries, the parties and stuff like that, and to a large degree, I think most people, once we walk away from today's game and out in the pressure cooker, I think most people go, look, it is what it is. We've won a Europa League. But the problem is, this can't happen next season. And this is why I think a lot of people are trying to get ahead of it now by saying, look, thanks for the Europa League, but go on. You go on and do what you need to do, and we'll go on and do what we need to do. Because this can't happen next season. This will not be acceptable next season. There'll be no one that will give them a free pass. It might happen today because we've won a Europa League, people are happy, people are in party mode. But next season, this won't be acceptable. There's going to be even greater expectations now to deliver the Europa League. But again, I come back to the quality of the squad. When we were playing well in the first half, and that's when we had our period, we only scored one goal. Matisse Tell missed a sitter. Brennan Johnson missed a sitter. When Brighton got in the ascendancy and they had their period, not only did they create a lot more, but they also put four of them away. which again leads to what I've been trying to say as well about the quality of the squad.
Yeah.
We just don't have good enough players, to be able to put teams to bed on a consistent basis. Every once in a while, you can see a great performance. But in general, it's very few and far in between. And this can't happen going into next season. But look, why I'm here right now is I want to do the lap of honour, show my appreciation for delivering me a European Cup. First time in 33 years. I've been waiting all my life for this. No one's going to spoil it and no one's going to take it away from me. Like I said, it doesn't make it any easier to stomach, any easier to palate, any easier to tolerate. We'll have these debates when me and you get back from our holidays next week. We're going to take a couple of days off next week and stuff, or coming into this week. But look, right now, let's try and enjoy the moment, and then we'll get into the Angie and Ange out debate once all this is done and dusted and we've enjoyed the success. We've got to try and enjoy it while it's here. Look how long we've waited for it, everyone.
Yeah. I think I expected them to run out of gas in the second half, really. I wasn't and I don't even know what my expectations at all were for this game. Of course, we'll have more serious conversations later on, but I'm not really going to read that deep into this one. I really am not going to read that deep into this game, to be honest.
Says, has Dave got his flip-flops on? Now, I want to get on to this because there's
people even listening. Jeez.
No, but I want to get on to this because there's a narrative being portrayed from one side about everyone's flip-flopping. And the reality is, it's so hypocritical, it's unbelievable, and they can't see it. But the reality is, everyone said Ange's useless and he's never ever tactically naive, never going to win a Europa League, etc., never going to change up his ways to make us defensively more solid to get over the line. He did. Once they beat Frankfurt, everyone came out. We're winning Europa League because you flip-flop and you pivoted. So let's not pretend it doesn't happen both sides. Let's not be hypocritical here. Let's not paint it comes from one side, because anyone that comes to me and says that, I'll just give back the counter and say, okay, but you also flip-flop. The reality is we're fickle. We're football fans. We go with the flow. You win, you're delighted. You lose, you're angry. It's the reality of it. It's the roller coaster. Mm-hmm. But to come in here and say flip-flop and pretend one side didn't flip-flop on the route to the Europa League, get over yourself, because that's the reality. It's the truth of it. Yeah. But the reality is, when we won the Europa League, me and Jack didn't sit here and say, you can't celebrate us, you can't celebrate with us, you can't celebrate with us. But now it seems like we're not allowed to celebrate with others. Give a fucking over. This is the problem. We win a Europa League, and we can't even sit here and enjoy it. We still want to argue and pull people apart. It's fucking madness.
Yeah, I don't know. Tartan Spurs from earlier. Thank you so much, Tartan, our man up in Scotland, saying, just wanted to say thank you, David Jack, for all the hard work you put in this season. Amazing to continue the journey with you both. Up the Spurs. Thank you, Tartan, man. I'm not letting it spoil the mood for me personally. No. I'm really not. I'm not letting it spoil the party celebrations at all. Like I said, just analyzing what happened, analyzing where it went wrong today. But I don't think we're under any sort of illusion that, Spurs are going to be smacking them 3-0, 4-0, especially when Brighton.
Ready for season 3.
Yeah, well, Brighton had something to play for as well. They had, a lot to play for this game. They always were going to come out in the second half. I think we were going to tire in the second half, and that was just the reality of it. And I think in a scenario where we take those chances, maybe could have made it harder on Brighton then to make that comeback, right? Would have been a lot more difficult for them. Would have been able to potentially see out the game in some sort of manner. But thank you, Tartan, man, and thank you for all the love. Thanks for all the people that have joined us throughout this journey of a season. It's been a real journey of a season. It's been a real roller coaster of one, and we do thank you guys, because we've had to analyze so many different performances. It's been very up and down. We've had some amazing nights, and we've also had definitely some low points as well this season. And so it's been hard, to always have. We don't even claim to always have the right thing to say, but it's been hard to try to make sense of it. Sometimes it has been hard to keep a balanced head, in all of it as well. When it's been so up and down like this. But I think once again we're kind of just saying this is not really a game that's really worth blowing your socks out for. It's not really a game that's really worth blowing a gasket over. So that's just the way I see it. Tartan Spurs, thank you, man. Absolute a lot of love. Really do appreciate you, sir. And hopefully you got a nice little vacation planned up north, sir.
Well, do you know what? I think everybody fucking needs a vacation, Jacko. It's been one hell of a long season, my man. Honestly, it feels like this year has been like 4 or 5 years rolled into one. You forget it's only been a span of like 5-6 months, but honestly, it's been one long 5-6 months.
Yeah.
Through the dark days with all the losses,
a lot of emotions.
You never it was hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. All of a sudden, we get this light. It's unbelievable, and then all of a sudden, we just get one last little reminder right before the season ends. It's just one massive roller coaster, ups and downs. And I think it's getting to the point where absolutely everybody just needs a week away from the bubble. No news. Don't get involved in it. Enjoy yourself. And then come back. Do you know what I mean? That's what I
Yeah.
need anyway. I just need a week away from it all. Since Wednesday, I've been on the go. My phone's been on the go. You know, at the parade and
Yeah.
everything else. Conversations happening everywhere. Literally, just need a little break away. And let's come back at it hammer and tongue. But I want to say to everybody out there, the support this season has been absolutely amazing. It's been tough. It's been ups and downs, but you know we've all stuck together for the most majority all the way through without really pulling people apart. So let's enjoy this last few moments of the season, and then we'll get on to more strenuous conversations in the future.
Just going to take some comments here as we're kind of waiting for them to do this lap of honor.
You said
Ed
it started.
Sweeting, say that again, sorry.
Oh, the stream has started on there. Yeah.
I'm sharing it with you, but you know, if you want to watch it on your own,
I'll
so
watch
it's
it on
not.
YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still using the same link though that
Oh,
I
okay,
gave
yeah,
you.
I'll go on to that. I'll go on to
But
that.
whatever you want, Dave. Seriously, I
I'll
think
make sure
we
I
can
do
be
the
we
same
can be
then.
on different times. I don't think it matters. Ed Sweeting though saying so difficult to make any comments today. Team disintegrated in the second half. Energy dropped and resilience faded. Changes were too late, and we also looked disorganized with so many constant changes. Yeah, I don't think there was just some sort of expectation it was going to be hard to do this. Just taking some other comments from some good people in the house. Really do appreciate you guys. Thomas saying, well said, Dave. Thank you, Thomas. Thanks for all the support, brother. Colin Turner saying, we had nothing to gain by finishing 16th or 17th. Why not just play the kids from the academy?
It would have sounded better though.
Yeah, and unless forced, will not play more. Might as well put them out on loan. Yeah, that's a big conversation over the summer, you know, his use of, you know, the youngsters when he has had the opportunity. DB saying some fans can't hold two thoughts in their head at the same time. Yes, great work in the Europa, and she's done a brilliant job, but the data doesn't support him staying. It's not exactly flip-flopping. I can see where you're coming from, DB. Ash P, good to see you, Ash, saying it's been a tough season. Y'all have been great. We're European champions. That's all that matters. Big up to you. Derek Hutchinson saying thank you, David Jack, for another great season. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, lad.
Thank you, Derek.
Big
Paul
up, Derek.
McWilliam. Paul McWilliam.
Do you know what?
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
want to quickly just give Derek Hutchinson a shout out because, you know, maybe we've disagreed on certain things this season with the manager and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he's always been respectful. He puts his points in. He has a listen, and he doesn't moan and go, "You're not saying what I want you to say. I'm unsubscribing and I'm not listening." So huge respect to Del Boy.
Paul McWilliam, I'm calling it now. We'll win the FA Cup and be top 4 in the league next year and under Ange. Love to hear that, Paul. Thank you to everybody. NJ123 saying thanks to you both. I really have enjoyed this crazy ride with you. Thank you, man. Thank you, NJ.
Yeah, appreciate that, MJ.
Tony Buttigieg saying thanks for your hard work. I respect you both, but this team is a disgrace. Skunkwork saying another cup in August. Yeah, right. Super Cup coming up soon, sir. Super Cup coming up soon. Artist T saying I would love to see. Yeah, I don't know, Artist T. Yeah, what's crazy is actually looking this live chat. I feel like Spurs actually should probably do like the slow, you know, sort of thing where you actually delay some of the comments because, geez, it's just spamming and spamming and spamming. It's really actually quite nauseating to look at. Someone saying it's written in the stars, Puskas Stadium, Champions League 2026. Big Ange's Tottenham Hotspur. It'll be the day he pays tribute to the master, the great Puskas, and takes on the mantle. That would be great for season 3, my friend. That'd be great for season 3. Let's get back to Jerome here. Jerome, man, you've been very, very generous to us, sir. Really do appreciate you, man. And hopefully you've been able to celebrate still, you know, for a while now, you know, since the final. And he's saying, you know what, even if we did not expect much from this game, though, to miss those chances clearly shows that we need experienced players next season. 22 defeats is just not acceptable. Yeah, and I think you would put down a lot of those defeats to what you just said there, Jerome, right? It's just the fact that there have been games when Spurs could have gone like 3-0 up in games. And that's being conservative, you could say. Like, could have easily gone 3-0 up. And granted, maybe we would have conceded a goal or two, but you would like to think that, you know, they would be able to see out, you know, a lot of 3-0 sort of margins and whatnot. And, you know, it's just been down to a lack of clinical edge and a lack of, you know, finishing really in so many games. I mean, Dave, like that hasn't been the case for all the defeats this season, but a good amount of them you would put down to Spurs not taking their chances in the moments in games when they are, you know, kind of looking like the better team. And if they did put away those chances, you wonder if you kill the momentum of the other side being able to come back. that sort of thing, right? So I just, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I do feel like
Mm.
that's been the story for a lot of the season, that, you know, we've scored a lot of goals, but I've said to you many a times on these streams, I do not think we're actually a clinical side, despite, you know, scoring a lot of goals. You know, this year we could have scored a lot more goals than what we actually been put down for.
Look, even this season compared to last season, I'd argue we create a lot less chances as well. It's been a lot less exciting to watch. And that genuinely comes down to the quality of your players. You know, we've got players that can provide moments, but moments will give you a season like we've seen this season where you're tearing your hair out in one aspect, but then you're also loving life in another aspect, because sometimes moments can deliver a trophy to a certain degree. Yes, you have to be consistent over that, but you know, when you get to a final, all it takes is one moment and you're a hero, and we've seen that. Where where we need to change up that front line, and something that I've been trying to get across, is we need to be able to sustain the ball in forward areas. We need to be able to mount pressure in forward areas. A bit like what Brighton done to us there in the second half. I believe they had, what, 20 odd shots? You know, they were able to sustain possession, push us back, ask questions of us. That's why we need better forward players. That's also why we probably need a better midfield to a certain degree, you know, in order to be able to play this way. If that's the way Ange Postecoglou wants to play long term, then we have to bring better players in to do that. And it's that simple. Even if you bring in another manager and he's, say, a little bit more pragmatic, then players, you don't get the same output of them because they're not as further up the field, which then means you're relying on better players yet again. So, you know, look, we've had a huge problem since we've sold Harry Kane. We still haven't addressed it. You know, one thing I tried to highlight when we were selling Harry Kane, not only the consistency, but the amount of moments he stepped up in big moments to score that goal that put 3 points on the board, to score that goal, to even put a draw on the board and turn a defeat into a draw. We don't have that guy in the lineup. We used to have Son. He now doesn't provide that anymore, which means now we have to go out this summer and address it properly, because we are certainly heading into next season without Kane and Son at their very, very best. Son, he's going to be, what, 34 next season, which then sort of his legs start catching up with him, which means then he's going to be more of an impact player off the bench. So you don't have that guy you can rely on. You can rely on Johnson to tuck them away, but you can't rely on him to create, which then means we become very stale up front. So we need major surgery across this front line yet again this summer. And if we don't improve that, you will see another dismal league campaign. Because a league campaign is 38 games, which means you have to be consistent. We haven't been able to show that because we don't score enough goals to be able to kill games in moments, which then leaves you open to being turned over and being turned over 4-1 like we were today. But then everyone will go, the back line, the back line, the back line. It's like, well, hang on. Johnson and Tell, if they score, you win that game. You're all of a sudden 3 up. All of a sudden, you're talking about a different game altogether. So it's crucial we rectify that.
No, it's the lack of finishing has been, I think, a huge portion of, you know, the losses this season for me, Jerome. Of course, you could also still ask questions defensively of this team, but, you know, for me, it's been a huge, huge portion of it. Thank you, Jerome, man, for the kind support. Thomas Jasper saying, Jack and Dave, big thumbs up. Darius saying, thanks for the great job this year, guys. Big up, Dave and Jack. Come on, you Spurs. Thank you, guys. Really do appreciate it. So many nice comments coming in. Echo Man saying this channel is da bomb. Enough respect. Big up, Dave and Jack. And big up, Dave. Thank you, man. Thank you, Echo Man. Very, very kind. Better out than in. It's good to get it out and express our opinions, says Swim Master, as long as we're respectful, especially to Dave and Jack. Thank you both. We've appreciated. That's why we're here. Thank you, Swim Master. Very, very kind of you, sir. So many kind comments, guys. Do appreciate it. Again, we don't claim to always have the right thing to say, but we're just trying to keep level heads sometimes, especially on, you know, games like this one. Drum saying, let's go party now, boys, and forget this horrible season. It's not really been, you know, at the end of the day, it could have been a horrible season, but it hasn't been because, you know, we won that trophy. That will be one of the biggest trophies of my lifetime. Hopefully I get to see many, many more big trophies, but
there it is in Sonny's hands.
Yeah. You know, the last major trophy Spurs have won was in 91. Granted, 2008, you know, of course, you know, great to win a trophy then, but you know, the last really, really, truly big one was in, you know, 91 with the FA Cup, man. You know, it's been a long time coming. So I'm going to say it's still been a great season because of that. That's just me, though. Maybe I'm being fickle or maybe I'm just being short-sighted on it. Big up, Jerome. Let the party continue, sir. Let the party continue.
When I'm on my deathbed, Jack, and I think back to, say, my mind goes to Tottenham Hotspur, when I think of the Europa League, you think I'm going to sit there and be negative at that moment
Yeah.
and go, well, not negative, but you think I'm going to sit there and go, oh, 22 defeats, damn, we didn't deserve to win that. No, I'm going to sit there and go, European trophy, what a time to be alive. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
100%. Wembley saying more league defeats than in the season we got relegated in 1977, and that was a 42-game season. Just let that sink in. Thanks, Ange, but it's time to go. I think there have been some damning stats about, the amount of losses this season. There was the one, there's that you just brought up, Wembley. I think there was someone who said we lost more games than like Cardiff City did, when they got relegated or something like that. Even you look at the statistics in the Premier League, just the Premier League alone, like since, that first 10-game run, after that first 10-game run, you look at like the total amount of points that they've gotten, really not been, that, pleasing on the eye. So don't get me wrong. There are a lot of stats, that you could beat Ange with. There really are. And this team, especially with the Premier League. With the cup competitions, slightly different story, right? With the likes of the Europa League. We got far in the League Cup. We're able to go decently far in the FA Cup as well. But, it's been a different story. It's just almost like Spurs have kind of, in both seasons under Ange, kind of ended up, having to prioritize one competition over the other. That's probably down to the squad. Maybe also just down to him finding it hard to be able to handle all the campaigns at once to some degree as well. Last season, we nearly got fourth, despite people's expectations of probably finishing like 8th or 9th, to be honest. I think a lot of people were expecting like 7th or 8th or 9th. We nearly got 4th. We got 5th instead. And you look at this season, we clearly prioritized the Europa League. So next season, it's all about trying to compete in more than just one competition.
100%. That's what it's about next season. But I mean, this is where the debate comes in the first place with Ange Postecoglou, right? And to a degree, look, I'm not excusing him, but I do feel sorry for him to a certain degree, because the first season, like what he's done at Tottenham Hotspur is, when he's shown we focus on one competition, we can have a good run under him. But the reality is, at Tottenham Hotspur, we're expected to compete for 4 competitions. And Tottenham fans will not tolerate another season of sacking off one competition for another. But in the same breath, in the first season when we went out and dumped out to Fulham in the Carabao Cup, how many people went after him because he should have played his strongest 11? You've got to prioritise cups. That's what we're here for, right? So then all of a sudden he does that this season, and now everyone pivots and goes, well, hang on, what about the league? Do you know what I mean? But they weren't saying that last season when we were doing well in the league and we got dumped out of the cup competition. So it's almost like the goalposts keep moving, but I suppose that's football. That's what happens in football, Moving forward, the goalpost is always going to shift, and you always got next targets you got to meet. But the reality is, everyone right now, it's not even the right time to have the conversation this weekend. Honestly, I think next week people just need to take a step back, relax, go away, recharge the batteries, and come back the following week. Because right now, you've got people that are so in because they're so delirious with the Europa League that aren't thinking straight. They'd forgive anything right now. And then you've got other people who are so angry with the result today and and stuff like that, that the emotions. So right now, everyone's just entrapped in their emotions. You're not really going to have good, honest conversations right now for and against, with everyone trapped in the emotions. This is what I'm saying. I think what we need to do is just take a week off, reflect on what's happened this evening, everybody, and come back then the following week and let's have these conversations. Because right now, everyone's entrapped in each camp, and it's not going to do anything. Someone could go, let's sack Ange. Another person goes, won a European Cup, shut your mouth. And someone could go, let's keep Ange. And then someone goes, we've lost 22 league games this season. What are you talking about? But no one's really going to go, but I see your point, and this is how conversations develop. So right now, it's not even the right time. Like I say, just enjoy it for what it is, won a Europa League, take a week off and come back. There's no point right now. No clear heads are going to prevail.
Very well said. Just looking at the boys kind of celebrating. Bergvall's getting interviewed.
Like, even the reality is, Jack, I'm sitting there thinking about it now. You asked me after the Europa League final on the build-up today. Ange don't care. Lose today, I feel a slight little bit different. I'm sort of like,
it's just the volatility is just so hard.
I'm caught up in emotions right now. You know what I mean? It's just like, now's not the time.
I just think there are fair points on both sides, and that's the issue.
Let me just settle down,
they're fair points on both sides of things. I think that's the problem. And the issues that some people like DB was saying aren't able to handle two thoughts at the same time, aren't able to maybe see the arguments from both sides, of it. I think DB, actually brought up a good comment there on that. But that's just what it is. I think we all just need, a few days off,
It's
take
just
our
like
minds
everyone
off of
right now
Spurs,
wants to be
plug
proven
into
right.
a few different podcasts. If anything, watch a Champions League final, watch the Conference League final, just watch a different team, for a little bit, and then, come back to it so that we can have these adult
But
conversations, about it.
it's just
Yeah.
like everyone wants to be proven right. Everyone that says, "Oh, Ange is brilliant," see, I told you he's won the Europa League, and then everyone that says Ange is useless, see, I told you, look at the amount of league games we lost. Forget about being proven right. Let's just take a week off and come back on what's actually right for Tottenham Hotspur. This is what gets lost up within all this manager talk. It's not the manager, it's Tottenham Hotspur, and that's what we need to, make our decisions on what's right moving forward. And that's why I just think we have to have these conversations once the emotion of everything is taken out of it after a week or two when it simmers down.
I think the fans still look to be in a jovial mood. Majority of them are
Of
definitely
course
still
they
in
are.
there. It's still packed out, the
Most
stadium.
of them people, Jack, were out in Bilbao at the parade. It's a week worth of drinking. By the time you reach this stage today, you don't. If we lost 10-1, they're still going to be bouncing up and down.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
was there. We were there for the Crystal Palace game. Like,
you're on booze.
yeah,
When you're on booze, you just want to party. And if you've got everyone in one thing that wants to do it, it takes over. There's probably people there that are jumping up and down singing Postacoglu now and walk out the stadium and say, I fucking live at Sackham. They're just caught up in the emotions of it.
I mean, yeah, we even though we're there for the Crystal Palace game, this is before even Spurs had won the final. But people, despite that terrible, terrible performance, people are still just enjoying each other's company, having a good time. Just looking towards that final. So I think Spurs fans have done pretty decent job actually of just sort of yes, analyzing, yeah, that was kind of shit to watch, but at the same time, we've had bigger things to play for, and we've had moments that we can salvage, from the season, moments that we can sort of cherish. So I think they've struck a fine balance, actually, and I think they're doing that here, actually, the Spurs crowd that's in the stadium today. They're able to do both. They can kind of look at it and be like, that wasn't really that great, in the second half, and maybe a reflection of a lot of what's gone on this season. But at the same time, they're chinging and singing and cheering. I said chinging, singing and cheering for, what's been a huge, huge momentous, change, and hopefully the winning culture and just, the trajectory of the club.
Well, like the European trophies being paraded around in front of them. I mean, it's a bit different for us watching here at home. We're only watching it. But they're sitting there with the Europa trophy in front of them. I'm sure if I was sitting there right now, I wouldn't even be talking about the result right now. I'd just be living in the moment, singing the songs and everything else.
Yeah, fair.
Look at that. It's beautiful. Honestly, I know we've lost, and I know we've got serious conversations to be had, because at the end of the day, we do have to do what is right for Tottenham Hotspur, not what's right for whatever individual opinion you've had formed over the season. It's whatever's right for Tottenham Hotspur, and these discussions with people with different points of view have to be had. But right now, I just can't still believe we're watching that Europa League trophy being paraded around Tottenham.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been called Spursy, perennial bottlers, chokers, etc., etc. No one ever thought we were going to win. Even we've been sitting here, going, well, fuck me. When are we even going to... I've probably got 30 years left on this planet. Are we even going to win a trophy before then? But we've finally done it. I can't believe it, man. I cannot believe it.
Sean Maddox saying the most important thing is this transfer window, regardless of the coach, and it's about the holes in the squad.
Madison and his kid going around, getting a good ovation.
It's crazy also to see for the parade that you were at, Dave. Didn't you say like 200,000 people were there? I mean, like 100,000 people were also watching it, like in the live stream. It was just absolutely nuts.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Jimmy Hotspur says, I'm not emotional, Dave. I want him gone. Some fan standards are way too low. Look, I'm not sure if they're aiming that at me. I think it's hard to criticise saying my standards are low, because some people that are sitting there saying, get rid of Ange Postecoglou, let's hold standards, we're also the same people saying, let's sell Harry Kane, our best striker ever, who scored the most goals at his football club. So that also to a large degree, again, is very hypocritical, right? Let's hold standards now, but where was that when it comes to keeping our best players? So I hope that's not aimed at me, because I've always tried to maintain the standards on the pitch with signing the right players and not watching donkeys out there. So I'd argue I am a part of that, where I do try to drive standards. Don't get me wrong, I get emotional in games and stuff like that. I just, that's the way I am. But even when it came to Romero debate, how many fans wanted to sell him? And I still sit there going, no, we got to keep him. So I don't want anyone to come to me about holding standards. And at the end of the day, I'd also argue, you talk about holding standards. If we sacked Ange when many people want him sacked in January, would we have won the Europa League? And I'm not doing this as a defence. Like I said, we'll have this when I've cleared my head after a week away. I'll come back and give my honest opinion on where I'm at, whatever way I fall. I'm going to give my honest opinion on it. But I don't want anyone to come after me about standards when I'm routinely campaigning to keep our best players, and so many fans are buckling under pressure, saying, take the money, let's feed Daniel Levy more money. Right now, don't even speak to me right now. Don't even speak to me. We won a Europa League, and you said it wouldn't happen. So don't come in here and start.
Oh, the Mickey Mouse Cup.
Yeah, where were you when we won the Europa League final after it and everything?
Yeah, you went hiding right now.
Come in here now, giving me grief. Nah, big up though, right now. I do love you, my man.
The flags really were a nice touch today.
Kamikaze. I love how the hypothetical question asked at the start of the season, would you take 17 to the trophy, came true.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, the Twitter reacts was epic.
Everyone that now, they'll have complete different answers, lad.
Yeah, listen, the Twitter reacts, to this season was hilarious, the last one. And thanks for all the love and support on that one. I think we got a lot of engagement there, so I really do appreciate it for that last Twitter reacts. It was very fun. Also, once again, a nice touch by the club to have, the legends from the '84 squad, Dave, to
No, it's
to
good
be
to
there.
see.
I think it's just been. I think this has all been well executed.
This is what these current players are in for now. In 30, 40, 41 years' time, which is last time we won one, you're going to see 4 or 5 of our players standing there doing the exact same thing, I'd hope. That's what they've achieved.
I can incline. Ba, ba, ba.
I will say it's great to see the Sea of White. Sandro didn't even win anything. He's a cult hero.
Well, he's just a guy who just loves Tottenham.
Yeah. South Stand has stayed in 4 still.
Definitely. That's definitely on the last game of the season. Last game of the season. That's a great place to be in the South Stand.
Huh?
Great place to be is in the South Stand for the last game of the season like this. Certified legend, right, Dave? I mean, I think you guys had that conversation, Sonny after finally getting the trophy.
Oh, yeah. Goes down as a certified
Because
legend.
there was a few years ago, people would kind of say he wasn't.
They leave it as a club captain. He'll go down the way Graham Roberts was remembered. Although, in fairness, Graham Roberts did score a goal that took it to penalty.
Yeah, whereas Sonny kind of just stuck. His is kind of for the loyalty, I guess, in Sonny's case. Yeah. Yeah.
Again, the loyalty, when other players bailed to go and make their dreams happen, Son stood by and said, I can't leave the Tottenham fans like that,
And we saw, I think there was like a Twitter post or something that we brought up where it was like or somebody kind of spoke about like, winning a trophy with a club that you love almost in a way can feel that bit better than going to another club, to win a trophy. Of course, I like the idea of players having ambition to go off and win trophies, but you wonder if sticking around through the tough times in the hope that you can win the trophy with the club you really do cherish and love, is is a different feeling entirely.
Yeah.
Because maybe, you know, winning a trophy somewhere else with a club maybe you don't necessarily love, it feels great for your career, right? It feels great for what you can look back on and be like, you know what, I've won this, I've won that. But I guess in Sonny's case, he can look back on it and it's just a club that he loves and has close to his heart. And then he can feel like, you know what, I actually was there for a huge, huge moment. It would be like, I guess you brought up Sandro, right? Cult hero. It would be as if like Sandro had won a trophy, you know, during his time here or something like that, you know. And obviously Sonny was far better player than Sandro ever was, but I think you know what I mean. You know, a guy that clearly seems to really love the club in Sandro's case. And then
What I love about Sonny, you know, is more the fact, Jack, that, you know, he's had so many near misses and heartbreaks like others, and them heartbreaks almost broke them, and they were like, look, I'm sorry, I love it here, but I do have to go. Where Sonny's hopefully being maybe one of the ones that hopefully where we see a culture change moving forward, where it's like, you know, if you stay at Tottenham, you persevere, you can't win stuff. You know, I think that's what he's proven to people. You can't win stuff at Tottenham in your career. You know, let's not forget the pressure that, you know, the Korean public were putting on him to leave. You know, to go elsewhere to win the trophies that he deserves and stuff and stuff like that. You know, and I think what he's shown, you know, you stay loyal, you can achieve your dreams here.
100%.
You don't have to jump ship. You don't have to board ship. Archie Gray getting interviewed. Do you know what, though? I know we lost today, but how nice is it, Jack, to have an end-of-season lap of honour with actually a trophy to parade?
We've seen some
Rather
depressing
than just
ones.
stand there and applaud the players. Do you know what I mean?
Which season was it? Was that the end of last season? Or was that... It was either the end of last season or it was maybe Conte's final season when it was under Stellini and whatnot and like Ryan Mason, where Lucas Moura, right, did sort of the lap of honor and like the South Stand wasn't even filled, right? Like there was only like 10,000 people like sticking around, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Trying to remember whichever.
Times?
Say that again?
Was that COVID times?
Trying to remember. But there was that one period where, you know, the South Stand was nowhere near as filled.
How do you think Archie Gray's season has been? He's been interviewed right now.
I think it's great. Sadly, didn't have a good season. When he did get his opportunities in midfield, didn't really strike me with a ton of confidence. I actually thought he had a pretty strong first half today. Thought he actually looked pretty good, but might have been actually his best performance in midfield, actually, you know, that first half that we've seen in general. But he's played in, I'd argue, Dave, a lot of nothing burger games. And those were opportunities for him to really kind of show his stuff because he wasn't really going to contribute that much in the rest of the Europa League. Like he was sitting on the bench for those games. And I think if he was really ready to take over from Bentancur in that midfield or give Bentancur proper competition, I think he would have had to put in some better performances, you know, and like, I think the Liverpool game's a bit of a write-off. I think that was always a hard game to throw him into. But then it was like, we saw him against Crystal Palace. He looked absolutely lost. I think against Aston Villa, you know, again, he looked really lost. And I think there was another game I might be thinking of and missing where he got an opportunity in midfield and he just really didn't strike me with a lot of confidence. He just looks like he still needs more time, you know, and to develop as an actual midfielder. Clearly a very intelligent, high IQ player to be able to play so many positions and has great touch on the ball, you know, has good awareness and whatnot. But there have been games where he has really just, drifted out of the game. And as a midfielder, it's one of the worst positions, unfortunately, to do that. Like as a midfielder, if you see a guy starting to kind of fade and start to become anonymous, like your team really starts to see the impact of that compared to other positions, you know?
No, 100%. I fully agree with you there. But, you know, I think one thing that annoys me a little is, you know, there's almost a narrative that Gray doesn't play much. He's on the periphery. He's made 46 appearances this season across
I think
all
he's got a
competitions.
lot of opportunities towards the end of this season.
He's
You
played
know,
28 Premier League games, 11 Europa League games, 5 um, Carabao Cup games, and 2 FA Cup games.
yeah.
So he's played 46 games this season. He's played 3,200 odd minutes. So he's had a lot of game time, and I think, look, with Archie Gray, I think there was a lot of excitement around him, and about his potential. And I still think he possesses that. Don't get me wrong, but I think people maybe have been annoyed that he hasn't kicked on and maybe blame Ange Postecoglou for that. But I don't necessarily think that that's the reason. I just think the step up, being at that level week in, week out, it's complete different level. It's a complete different ask, complete different toll on your body. And I think what we're seeing is Archie Gray acclimatising it. But don't get me wrong, I still think we've got a fantastic player in there. I just think, again, next season he's going to have to fight for his minutes in midfield. And hopefully when he takes them, he's also a better player, more ready for them, Jack. Because I do agree with you. At times he has looked a bit lost in midfield. And at the end of the day, we can blame Postecoglou for the losses. But, when he's been given these opportunities, we've lost games as well, and that's what happens.
Low pressure
when you
games. Yeah.
But that's what happens when you're relying on youngsters all the time. You know what I mean? This is why I keep speaking about having to bring in more experienced players. Even because you'd argue some of the players that we've put out with these youngsters maybe haven't helped them kick on to a certain degree. But you bring in better quality players, all of a sudden, some of the players that we're seeing play in the first team, in usually his first 11, will automatically drop and start playing them games. And then next thing you know, they'll push the forward and stuff. Mikey Moore here now getting his interview. Love to see that. I think, do you know what? I think it's been a bit of a frustrating campaign for Mikey Moore, but also I would say a productive one to a certain degree. He's played minutes, he's contributed goals and assists, and I think for a kid that's started at 17, turning into 18 this season, I think, I'm winning the Europa League. I mean, it's not a bad start to your Spurs career.
No.
But look, I think we'll probably start to wrap this up, will we? I think we're just getting to interviews.
Yeah, I guess we're just watching this together here. So, everybody, really do appreciate you all. Thanks again for a wonderful, wonderful season of ups and downs, but you guys riding through it with us.
Yeah.
We got something to salvage at the end, something to really cherish, and it will be a memorable season, in my opinion, because of it. It's the greatest moment, the last week, I would say, has probably been the greatest moments of my lifetime, really, as a Spurs fan. As much as it was amazing to go to Champions League finals and whatnot, like, don't get me wrong, that was incredible. But I think also the sort of the way it then spelled out with with Pochettino left a sort of sour taste in our mouth. The Conte Mourinho, sort of moments of getting into Europe, were amazing, but pales in comparison to winning a trophy for me of this magnitude. Really just getting this trophy off of our back, this trophy hunt off of our back has just been incredible. So thank you, everybody, for riding through this season with us. Thank you for all the love, all the support that you guys show us. Looking forward to a summer of conversations about rebuilding, improving.
We'll have a fan show tomorrow for everyone.
All that stuff. Fan show tomorrow to wrap up the season. Conversations about things we'll probably be talking about all summer long, but also some of the big highlights and some of the big moments from this season. So we'd love to see you guys all there for the fan show, because then from there, it's a bit of a hybrid schedule with how kind of things go. So we'd love to see you guys there for one big wrap up of the season. But yeah, once again, thank you guys for going through another roller coaster journey with us. Love you all. Appreciate you all.
Yeah, look, thank you, everybody. It's been an amazing season, the growth of the channel and everything else. I want to say a massive thank you to every single one of you out there. It's been testing times. It's been bitter. It's been sweet. But at the end of the day, the sweetness at the end of the season is stronger than the bitterness, to be quite frank with you. We've won the Europa League. We've suffered to get through to the light at the end of the tunnel. Let's all go off, have a week off, and then let's come back and have more serious conversations about this football club. Love every single one of you who's joined us this season. Even if you've pissed me off, I forgive you and I love you. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you back here tomorrow where it's your turn to come on and have your say. Rhino, make sure you're there.
See you all tomorrow, everybody. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Europa League winners. Champions. Say it again, everybody. Europa League winners, European champions. You'll never sing that.
Yeah.
See you, everybody.
Hold that. Oh, no, wait, they can't.
Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Have a good one, everyone.